way in for FORZE. It all comes up to this first half for me. So, you know, the jury's still out in terms of the actual sort of like, you know, confidence sort of sets, but I'm thinking about possibilities, and I'm thinking that there's a possibility there for the FORZE side. And so do Loot Bet. The odds are damn close between MIBR and FORZE. Confidence has been lost in this Brazilian squad in the last few days, but it's now time for them to tame it back. If you want to take advantage of the odds you see on screen, go click the banner underneath the Twitch channel. Take advantage of our 10 free CSGO spins and €100 bonus deposit while you're at it, only at our betting partners at Loot Bet. Set piece into the A site seems to come up for the pistol round set here for FORZE.
Quite a heavy stack over towards B from MIBR, so not the greatest of defenses to try and set up towards this A bomb site. It's going to be a retake setup. TRK is strapped in towards this triple position. He's able to get away with one, but he needs to try and fall back or keep fighting. And keep fighting he does, but he can't win out the engagements. And finally, it's a 3-on-3 with the site opened up.
Bomb has been dropped in the open, though. I think MIBR are going to have that information. FORZE are trying to work in towards Connector and Jungle for this moment. CTs are on the wraparound. One player coming in from underpass, two out of the CT spawn. Bomb does get picked up, looking for a plant here. Open for Connector. And Fallen can't catch info or vision onto Face Crack. KNG may well do so, but Face Crack opts to back off. No one is keeping their eyes on Connector. Someone's going to have to check it out right now. Flick going to get caught by KNG. Taco gets XP power, and it's all left to Face Crack here on the default and firebox positions. KNG facing, can't get a headshot with the Glock. Two players coming in super close towards him. KNG takes the fight and wins it out of Face Crack. Fallen finds the trade, and it will be the pistol going the way of MIBR.
A really nice retake coming out from the CT side. It all really just came down to is establishing the timings. We saw it was a 3-on-3. No one was watching towards that connector position from FORZE. It almost seemed like they didn't have an idea that any presence was coming through. Flip was just completely caught off guard. And from there, they cycle in together. They make sure they're peeking on each other's contact. And FORZE, they get a bomb plant, meaning they'll be able to get a buy going into round 2. But MIBR are going to be able to get away with the pistol round victory.
Yeah, big start for the CT camp. The bomb plant came through for FORZE, so they're going to try and force the issue back. We've seen many a great force buy from this team, so don't count them out in this one. Out straight in for Fallen, looking for the first headshot. Does not quite land it just yet. Second shot also misses out to the mid control. FORZE have established their map presence, now working to find the opening kill.
Not a lot of contest coming out through mid for MIBR, so they're giving free range up for the T side. Even with complete mid control, they actually start to back off, and it's a dual setup in the apartments. This could get very interesting, especially with the fact that our Mazer has been taken out.
Taco opening up the round here for the CT camp. Four players out here, flash over from Taco. M4 just checking the left and right hand sides of the cross set. And here they come out the gate, bursting from the M4, finds that one KNG there, the trade back as Taco ends up falling, bomb being dropped, 2K for KNG, and XC being the lone player left, M4 recovered in a 1-on-3 scenario. Bomb plant will be secured, so there'll be some extra money for FORZE, I imagine, to eco into a full-blown rifle round of the next one, especially as Precious takes that kill, takes the round back to MIBR.
Yeah, look, maybe if FORZE were able to make that round a bit more expensive, if they take down a couple more players and turn it into a 1-on-1, then maybe we'll see the Force again. But considering 3 players stay alive, there's no real reason for FORZE to go for another Force buy, even with a bomb plant to come through. MIBR, it all really comes off the back of Taco, finding a couple of kills, being able to pull those rotations into the B bomb site. So far, so good to come out for the Brazilians. A half buy to come out from FORZE to try and do a little bit more damage, Jay, try and see if they can keep the economy low from the CTs, because there are a few players that don't have a lot of money in the reserve.
A half buy. Altavico here for the T-side camp. Flashes and smoke set utility here for the T-side. It's the play up towards the default positions here on the A set piece. Smoke's coming in very early here for the T's. I think MIBR are going to get a beat on what they're doing round after round. Out of the gate, M4 for TRK denies the bomb plant. They're looking for a bomb plant right here for the moment, and in the end, the T's do get cleaned up, but the CG defensive locked down from MIBR, with XE being the lone man standing. This will be a 3-0 start for the Brazilian squad, and the rifles to come through from FORZE in round 4.
Nice and easy. Dealing with that half buy incredibly well. Fer gets taken out, TRK is incredibly low, but it's only one player to be eliminated for the MIBR camp. XE Power, just no real way back into the site. Is there? Bombs just dropped into the open. He can maybe try and backstab out through the B bomb site and wrap in through market, but you've got to expect it. At some moment, all these angles are going to be checked out. They've even got Taco in towards the window room position. XE just seeing if he can find another kill or 2. 2.
45 seconds, the Eagle catches Taco, but misses his shot for the head kill, so no chance for the recovery, no chance for an exit frag even. It's a 3-0 start for MIBR again. Forza straight up with the buy-in, straight in with the AWP as well on XE Power. Fallen's got an AWP to respond over on CT side. Rifle set here with the utility and the Kevlar basis. M4s versus AKs, and Forza trying to see if they can pick things up with their opening rifle round.
There was a pretty good spawn to come out from XE, but instead he just decides to play a little bit more passive out from Rab. Fallen has got very aggressive, going for the short jump out from window. Hasn't seen anyone cross out from mid, so he's able to call out a little bit of information, Jay, that Forza have not quite taken this top mid control just yet.
Molotov's in, AWP's out for Fallen. Shoulder baiting, smokes down, looking for the opening kill, but face crack lands the headshot instead. Quick reactions, good tap. FORZE will peek in, be seen, but also see players back up towards the top of mid presence. They'll already know there's a player up top mid. They won't be able to get the info on the second man. 5-on-4 gained by the T-side advantage.
I need to try and find an answer back here, MIBR, and that's why we're seeing some aggressive defaults coming out, especially around this mid position. Two players towards short of KNG and Taco. KNG going to get boosted up. First going to be able to find a trade, but it needs to be an answer back, and there it is. Into the 3-on-3. FORZE have lost the advantage they were working with.
They're walking out towards the A site. They can isolate and wrap around against TRK. Down to timing and positioning. They're not checking the right place at the right time. When the lead bomb box of TRK comes up with one and only one. Bomb plant open towards Ram. X is still holding in for mid. Got to get towards short to try and support this. And I think you can still watch from connector and from short from that angle. I'm not 100% certain, to be honest. Wrap around from Almas are going to get real passive in this one. A set towards the Palace position as he wraps back over, and still no mid control gained by X. He's going to need to get to connector if he wants to try and defend against this here. Time is ticking. He's going to try and opt for the short face, so maybe you can see it from there. Taco, smoke down on the bomb right now. AWP sees him, takes him out, all left to KNG now, on towards it, trying to get some cover in. Almas are just going to hear the tap up, go and catch KNG at the top of the smoke, get the frag back, and secure the round here to open things up for FORZE.
I tell you what, MIBR really slowed that down. It seemed like for them in that 2-on-2, they didn't really have the biggest reads in the world of where that a 2CT, or the 2 T players, I should say, where they were. A bomb planted open for connector. Allows the peak to come out from XE Power, and from there, that round's done, that round's finished. And MIBR are going to be forcing the issue going into round 5. It is a little bit of an awkward buy. They're able to get the double AWP down to Fallen and KNG, but it's a CZ, a FAMA, and an MP9 for the rest of them.
Fallen, very early damage done towards connector. Was that a nade onto his position?
It certainly could have been. Yeah.
No hyper-aggressive face there from the T-side camp, unless there was the first face that went horribly wrong there for the AWP, an aggressive mid-contact area. Ready with that AWP to watch anyone coming in from short. The AWP of X, he might try and respond towards him, but Fallen gets away with a kill, opening things up with the man advantage, seeing that bomb as well. Continues to hold it in everything. The smoke down will recover that piece of kit for the T side. KNG gets face crack on short, meanwhile, so a 5-on-3 scenario gained by MIBR. The slow rounds going well for the CTs as they pick apart FORZE piece by piece.
And it all just comes off the back of just so much aggression over the map. We see Fallen trying to take some opening jewels out towards connector. From there, as soon as mid faces come out, they starting to push in towards the ramp position, and that's where KNG finds impact. It's been shut down at the most part over a B from Taco. I say that, and Almeza gets a couple of kills. This now opens up the opportunity for a bomb plant. They have brought this back.
That 5-on-2, 4-on-2 scenario?
5-on-2.
Okay, back to evens, but Almanza is so low, and now Flit's dead, so it's all going to rest on him. FORZE with a great face in with the AK, backed up by the Molotov, and Almanza back turn towards TRK as well. Second AK picked up. This AWP needs to land both of these shots real quick. Info not being gained here on the apartments player. Shoulder bait is going to see him look back towards the short area, and FORZE will get the frag. A fourth there for MIBR, just about recovering, but damage being done by FORZE with the economy being low for the CT camp. We could see a force back from the T's met by a very harsh buy from MIBR.
I think it was a little bit too overconfident there from MIBR. They had a 5-on-2, and Taco, after finding the opening kill from Van, stays in the exact same position, doesn't reposition to play a little bit deeper on the side, and allow FORZE to take that bomb site control. In fact, they just kind of keep sitting there trying to fight, and for FORZE, they end up getting quite a lot out of that round, Jay. MIBR Still going to be able to run the double orbs, of course. And FORZE are looking for a way back in. Moneyline is looking pretty awkward for both sides, Jay. So you've got to think, you know, there is an opportunity for both teams to reset one another.
Set piece in again. FORZE are going to bring this back to basics to the A site where they've had the most amount of success. Sandwich one player, Fallen back behind danger at the other. Tech9 straight in, dealt with Flip. Does catch Fallen back here. One gets dropped out. TRK comes up with only one pick. 3-on-3. Flip catching further shoulder. Finds the headshot somehow at the gap in the smoke. Nades up on KNG, tagging him at relatively low. 67 points of health. The AWP force back at the CT spawn. 3-on-2 retake up at MIBR.
Oh, it's going to be a tough one to come out from the Brazilians. They've done a lot of damage onto Flit and Almeza, but the post plant is incredibly strong, all playing very passive, even rotating a player in through mid. Almeza towards the Tetris box as Taco needs to be able to get the swing here, needs to be able to find the response, slowly making his way in. Oh, the turnaround does not come through. Exi-Power with the orb, and that round is done. KNG on 1 HP, and he's going to try and get hunted from Flit.
Flit here. AK set, knows that KNG's there, takes that kill easy, all 5 down, does not need to save the double up setup for the C-side. And with the damage coming through in the last round, with the consistent close rounds from FORZE, we will end up seeing a force buy from MIBR. Double eco status for the CT side, they have no choice.
I'll tell you what, that's a big round. Everyone goes down, it just makes the money line really awkward for MIBR. Now, they're buying down to about 1,000, so it's not a complete force, but it is still a double eco status. They won't be able to get a buy into that following round. And for FORZE, this is the perfect opportunity to really start to claw some momentum.
Taco CZ set here towards the apartments, dropping down. Flashes go over as the teams make their way up. Molotovs and nades. Taco's going to burn. It doesn't even get away with the kill for it. Got close to one, but no cigar. The bomb plant secured whenever the FORZE side want to. They've got so much time, it's no worries here. And the CZ Deagle left to hopefully get exits at this stage for MIBR. FORZE with one good round, with the damage coming through in the previous ones, have basically turned us back to within 1 of the lead.
Looking for some exits. There are a few players on this T side that are incredibly low. It's the CZ that finds onto one, K&G. This round's actually becoming quite expensive now for the FORZE side, especially if Jerry goes down. That's 3 kills. That is very impressive from the MIBR side. They'll be very happy with the damage they did there.
If they can get the eco to do some more damage here, they can potentially do some reset potential. Speaking of damage, you can repair the damage done to your inventory only at hellcase.com, the case opening site allowing you to open some sick cases and sick skins. You can use codes MaltaV and MaltaV15 that you saw on screen there for free money and free 15% refill bonuses respectively. Again, at our case partners at hellcase.com. Eco coming through for the CZs and upgrade Deagles. Let's see if MIBR can get the headshots together.
I was wondering how you were going to work with the term damage there, Jamie. You did that quite well. And for FORZE, they're now starting to do quite well. We're starting to see a couple rounds in a row from them, some aggression out towards mid from the pistols. But FORZE should be able to tie this up, especially with Exi-Power getting a couple of kills. Mac 10, long range from Jerry, and it's looking pretty simple.
Well, it's a 5-on-2 in the last round. We saw what the pistols were able to do there. Case in point, KNG shuts down Jerry. That is an SMG, so you know. It's relatively acceptable, but if any of the rifles drop, then now it's starting to be concerned here for the economy basis of FORZE. KNG backs up passive. Taco held out towards the mid position. He's going to get dealt with by Flip and KNG. I mean, he might as well just try and see if he can get semi-aggressive and try and take some rifles out. Go for an exit frag on the player here at the short position. If he can get that, that'll be positively a good idea here for the MIBR cap, but Flit overwhelms, gets the kill, and FORZE stay alive to regain the economy state of FORZE. Now the rifles come in from MIBR.
Tell you what, I was just going to say, they don't really have a lot of money to go for that secondary op, so it means that Fallen is going to be glass cannoning, and I'm not sure whether that was because he was making a few upgrades in the last couple of rounds, but it certainly means that he won't be able to get that body Kevlar in. FORZE up. But where do they go from here? Do they go back to a set piece, into a default? Looks like it's going to be fast mid control to come out for the T's.
Molotovs straight up AWP for KNG. Misses the first shot, does land it on the second. Face crack to fall. A 5-on-4 situation gained by the CT side. Fast hit just comes towards the B side though. Out the gate, aggression coming in from FORZE. Flashbang's going to keep the AWP blind in the back. Ferg gets dealt with over towards the mid control. Taco catches Almaza, extending a bit too far out towards the short entrance. 4-on-3, FORZE with a fast commitment. Now going to rotate back and try work a different angle here.
Does Fallen know about Flit in Con? I'm not sure if this is information or just a bit of a gut feeling, but now that FORZE, now that they've got Flit so aggressive and connected, they might try and bring this bomb up, especially with the fact that a wide swing comes out from Flit.
Even standing once again, got one player here towards Tetris, the M4 facing Flit's position, get the tag,
my
but
goodness.
the AK comes up with the kill as Flit forces the issue in. FORZE have a man advantage once again, but positionals are so awkward from MIBR, they can still shut down the bomb planter right here. X has got to land his first shot, and he does take it in the end. TRK gets Flit so they know exactly where they can go. Smoke down towards shore, get a bomb plant towards B, set up in a 1v2 post plant.
And Jerry can even get behind him. And TRK, he has been able to split the T side, but does not expect Jerry to be in the back line. This round is pretty much all but over. There's no way that TRK can expect this. Seeing the information, XE Power swings out. I'll tell you what, that was such a big round come out from Flit. That was a great start from MIBR. They got KNG very aggressive with that orb. It seemed like it was a very fast mid fake to go in for a B side XE, or at least a split into B. KNG finds an opening pick. It all falls apart, and then Flit brings it back.
And that's a big round for FORZE to take as well. The economy in ruin here for MIBR. I've got to go back to the eco basics. Straight up mid push coming in from the CTs. KNG forces forward alongside Fur, and there's two players back here towards the A site defense, a Deagle and a P250. Actually, a P2K from Fallen, excuse me. But here they come. Smoke's out. They'll realize what's going on. Here's another set piece in towards the A site. Face crack, seeing one Fallen taking damage. Not a mass amount of damage though. Molotov's back towards bench to ensure no one connects it out of the connector. Smoke. Fallen does take out Face crack. Dealt with by Jerry. One player top of ticket move not being spotted there. At the end of the smoke, they will spray through, and Jerry will get that kill on Taco. But responses have been good. 3-on-3. Now down to 2 as TRK burns alive. And the bomb just got across from Sandwich as Almaza gets KNG next for last man standing. Flit takes that bomb out in the open, but still wins the fight to secure a confident again from FORZE anti-eco. Good. And now MIBR rifles come back around here. I think they're a max loss bonus at this stage as well.
Yeah, they certainly should be. You've got to think for FORZE, they're playing with a lot of momentum, Jay. They've been able to come back from being, what, 1-4 down. It's now a streak of 5 rounds in a row. They're starting to look incredibly sharp. We're seeing Flit and XE fragging at a very high level. And FORZE are one of these teams where they do run set executions pretty often, especially on the T side of Mirage. We've already seen it a couple of times so far, so there is still an opportunity to go for it again. And, well, this is exactly what we're seeing going into round 11.
Utility back and forth. It's Face crack with the opening kill on TRK. Spotting out Fallen at the danger box. Sees that gap in the smoke, but can't take the man down. Got Fur here close, and the Glock can't get the frag. Fallen jumps on Jerry as well. Fur can't quite double up. So we see 3-on-3 going the way of the T side. Taco and Almaza start trading, so back to evens will go. Flit has the sight, but the bomb is out in the open, and Taco is watching this position.
Yeah, this is going to be a tough one for the T's to try and get that bomb back. And Flit's got to make a play. Now, he can try and sneak in through CT, and maybe try and wrap around or just wait. Now, they've got so much time, so they can even force MIBR to make mistakes. Now, if Taco starts to overextend from CT, this could be the big duel that Flit needs.
How far will he face? Will he continue pushing up? Will he just hold this angle here and wait for the active contact? AWP. Exia's the bomb in the open. They have left that open position. I don't know if KNG can see it from his position. Flashbang will try and enable the bomb to get picked up here, and indeed it does. So KNG does not see that. Taco sees the man at Tigaboo. Flit forces him back. Bomb plant can be secured here. Be wary of that AWP. KNG, is he going to start facing? Not just yet. Flit will make his way up. AWP, Vexy just got to watch the CT spawn now. Incendiary down towards the danger position. Does not force anybody out. Flit making his way in towards CT. This could be a backstab. He's going to make a bit of noise for it, though. To be fast coming through. M4 facing, not turned around, though. Into connector. KNG will make his way up. AWP still out towards Palace. Good spray, good kill. KNG still not seeing anything from this. They've run the timer so low here. MIBR I think KNG's best bet is to save the weapon, and indeed that's exactly what he'll do, get as far away from the explosion as possible, as FORZE takes 7 on T side.
This is getting scary now, Jay. I'm getting really worried for MIBR. Oh, they don't even save onto the AWP too. Flit, he's playing so well. He's reading the game incredibly well. The fact that what XE is able to do there is jiggle peek from Palace, and Taco spots him. So Taco knows, hang on a minute, there's a player in Palace, and there's just no way that he can expect a backstab like that. So he can focus his attention up to that position. We see Flit coming in the back lines, even drops that AWP. KNG can't bring anything forward, so it's going to be another eco up for MIBR, another just round to add to the streak for FORZE. This is 6 in a row, Jay.
Flit and Xe being the main damage dealers there in that clutch, and of course in the matchup so far, top fraggers on the server for the T side. And Fallen and Fur will try to get the pistols aggressive, get some kills back. KNG's dealt with towards top mid as Fallen also goes down. And Fur does have an AK out of the aggressive face. TRK catches Xe power. Bomb down, body blocked by Almas, and that's not a good sign, but they can't swing out towards Connector in time to try and deny it. Seeing the player in the apartments, they've got to burst in towards the B site quick, try and force an advantage to their favor in a 2-on-2, but it's Flit falls. It looks like FORZE are going to get half-fought. AK against 3, finds the first, trying to isolate Taco, sees his shoulder, can't land the headshot, he gets that second kill. 1-on-1 against TRK next. Can Almas clutch this against the AWP?
It's all down to mind games. Is he going back to A? Is he going back to B? And he's just waiting for TRK to make a move. The AWP is in through market on the CT side. Both players not moving a single inch, Jay.
Someone's got to force the issue. Almas out more specifically, and I think TRK realizes this. Starts to consider backing up here. Second guessing his position. Almaza takes swing out, sees nothing in market or in window. Bomb plant towards default. This will get hurt by TRK, and he starts making his move. Deagle up, gonna go for the retake here against the AK-47. He's one good head shot, and he lands it perfectly. TRK with his own 3K. Gets MIBR back in, breaks the streak of FORZE.
What a huge round to come out from MIBR, and it was even just the little things. We saw XE and Palace. Now, there was a single player, it was TRK's teammate. I'm not quite sure who it was towards the A bomb site, but was running back from ramp to give the sound cue away, and that focused the attention down towards sort of like the under balcony position. So then when XE rounds the corner, the deagle kill can come through from TRK, picks up that AWP. Mauser does a really great job of at least bringing it back from a 1-on-3 to a 1-on-1, but this deagle shot, I mean, you can't do it any better than that. That is an absolute banger.
Will MIBR be able to follow up is the new question here. Both economies investing in full. MIBR coming out a little bit worse for wear, but only by a small margin. And set piece comes through from FORZE again, smoking off all the common angles. Connect to jungle, stairs, CT, spawn, all were held back. One player on the bomb site. TRK with the M4 behind danger, swings in, gets that fragment tech bases against him. He can't double up, so the bomb plant can be secured.
Oh, they've got to play around towards mid, and oh, even Taco is being read from XE trying to get aggressive towards Ticket. And if Flit takes down this AWP, this round is done. This round is absolutely finished. There's no way that MIBR can even continue the retake, surely.
Well, Fur will try his best, but in a 1-on-3 situation as Fallen goes down, there's no way. What a return from FORZE. Decimation over on this T-side camp. MIBR just weren't expecting the speed for which that utility would get set up, weren't expecting the speed for which the execution would come through, and although the initial kills went their way, it was just a case of holding trades against FORZE, and they just didn't come to fruition. 8-5, they've won the T-side half, and this was the thing I was hoping for. Well, I don't know what I was only hoping for, but this is the thing I was like trying to look out for here, I think is the right terminology for this.
Yeah.
Will FORZE be able to get that T-side together? And they have. They've won T-side. MIBR trying to bring this close. SMG gets in, does not do anything for it. Almaza opens up the frag counts. TRK still held to the back line, done well here from the danger box position. Fallen gets one good blind shot. TRK comes up with another. Almaza gets a kill back to return, but Fallen still fragging with the AWP. 2K as he drops that bomb in the open. Almaza facing XE on 1 point of health. Needs to land the shot on the next player that faces in, else they're going to be goners, and they might consider a rotation back to the sites.
Yeah, it's going to be difficult, especially with how low the XE is. And it comes down to Almazer again to be able to just bring this round back. And he's been in a lot of situations, especially towards the mid-round and later stages of the round, where he needs to either clutch out or make a big play. Now, Xy's starting to rotate in from Palace. Almeza needs to be able to bring this back into a 2-on-2.
Nade on Taco. Doesn't even do much damage. 45 seconds, the apartments push coming through. Xy does isolate a kill on Fallen. Okay, this might be a way in. Counter rotates do come back, as actually KNG is forced out of the apartments area. More nades coming through. Are they going to rotate? No, the nade still does not land Taco's position. And now they're going for a fast hit back towards B.
I'll tell you what, KNG was pushing the apartments, but I think as soon as that kill comes through, his attention gets drawn back over to that A bomb side. It's actually out through mid from FORZE. Now, they don't have any smoke to be able to get into that short position without being seen from Connector, but no one's eyes is on here. Xy Power, now the information comes through.
10 seconds. I think Almas is just going to sneak the bomb plant in here. They have no idea until the plant is secured. Open for sure. How is Almas going to approach this? Both players of MIBR coming in from the market area. Good flash to blind him off. Going to take face in against this AWP. Taco with an SMG is going to be the main problem for the CT defensive. Here they come, footsteps being heard. Going to check out the market doorway. No flash into support. KNG seen, sprayed through, baits in the shot, knows exactly where he is now. Two players to find here. Taco coming in from the left-hand side. Both players back behind. Over towards the bench area, spray through. Can't get a second kill. And can't get the spray together against Taco. The defuse will come through for the SMG, grabbing the AWP as well. As 6 go to the board of the CT side.
Some of these rounds have been absolute nail-biters. That was an almost clutch attempt to come out from Almeza, and he did the best job that he could, you know, trying to get that bomb plant in, at least giving them the extra bit of money going into round 15. They would have been able to get a buy anyway, but trying to isolate those two one-on-ones, and KNG and Taco were just playing so close to one another that as soon as KNG gets taken down, Taco's able to come out with a swing. And MIBR looking to at least try and make this as close as possible, Jay. Putting a 7th round up on CT would be a pretty decent recovery after we've saw a massive streak of rounds going the way of FORZE.
Rebuy back on the T side. Look at the AWP straight in for Ford and lands a collapse. Gets only 1 kill for it, but Jerry's on 13 points of health and KNG knows where he is. Good kill to find 2 already. Simple stuff coming in for the CT defensive. Opening frags found. And the AK of Almas sees in. TRK takes that frag back. AWP flicking, can't quite land the shot on the man. And FORZE again in a 2vx situation, this time 2v5, as MIBR haven't taken a single point of damage here in the opening few frags.
Xy Power and Flit just seeing if they could find anything on a return, but it's not going to happen. Xy's the last one left, 1-on-5, and this round is surely but over. They'll know exactly where he is, and the swing to come out. So MIBR to find their 7th. And for FORZE, look, on Mirage at least, for the last month, they've had a pretty good track record. They've only lost this map once out of the last 8 times they've played it. They've been able to put up some pretty decent wins against Harvu, Nordavin, Complexity. Their only loss was in DreamHack Open Summer, where they took 14 and 16 loss against OG. So in the last month alone, we've seen a pretty decent Mirage coming out from FORZE, and to make it this close on their opponent's map pick, especially against a team like MIBR, I think they can be really happy with what they achieved on the T side.
Well, 8-7 is the half. It's favourable to FORZE here. And again, to highlight the statistics from Mirage previously for MIBR, they have a very, very CT-heavy sort of half advantage. Now, they were doing good on T-side earlier today, but that was a very different map of train. I'm not sure how much that translates over to their performance here on Mirage. That is the main thing again. I did say that I could see FORZE taking a close 2-0 if they're able to get the good T-side start. And I think that they've got a relatively good T-side start right here. I mean, a couple of decent frags going back to their favor, or a couple of good trades against MIBR, and I could have been seeing probably a 10-5 half from FORZE in a best-case scenario. And that's when things really would have picked up, but they have one T side, and we'll see whether they can do the same thing on CT half. Again, pistol is going to be all important for these two teams. Not massively important, because there's plenty of breathing room between now and round 16. Take a look at the pistol vibes and see what FORZE are going to try and do here. And their performance in that first half have definitely changed the minds of Lootbet. Dead set even earlier on today in the opening pistol round. But now to the second pistol, 2.3 on the odds for MIBR.
And what was actually really interesting, Jay, when they brought up that scoreboard, was that 5 out of the 7 rounds that MIBR won all came down to defusers, all came down to retake scenarios. MIBR going for a bit of a set play into the A-bomb site. There is 3 CTs here, and they're looking to get very aggressive on this A-bomb site.
Only one smoke to connector, and here comes KNG out of the entryway. MIBR going so close towards it. Jerry and Dark, and FaceCrack on site taking challenges. Jerry gets 3 kills. Taco finds a response to the man. The bomb's been dropped, and he's still got FaceCrack on site to deal with. 1 headshot, TRK, all that remains. He'll get a trade back, but he needs to find 3 more kills. Jerry goes massive for FORZE, and a pistol looks to go their way to open things up on CT side.
I tell you what, Jerry doesn't normally get the big plays, doesn't normally get the hype, but I tell you what, that was an incredible defensive hold towards an A bomb site. 3 kills for the in-game leader, and TRK has to try and pick up that bomb, take these 3 players down. It is going to be a very difficult task, especially with the fact that he's on 34 points of health. Not really too many opportunities. FORZE just aren't really peeking, making sure that they're just trying to hide as much as possible, try and run down that clock, force TRK out into the open, and Almeza is going to swing on the contact of XC Power, a 9th round from FORZE. What a hold to come out from Jerry.
Unreal. Unreal stuff from Jerry. And again, those 3 picks came in super, super quick on that USP. And that will put some distance now between FORZE and MIBR. No bomb plant secured. Still, they go for a force back. FORZE with the rifles in. If MIBR can go for a fast play, I could see them still overwhelming this CT count. They did that quite a lot in the earlier best of 1 against Hellraisers. But set a bit slow on the defaults here. Split towards apartments mid and the A site contacts, as the CTs slowly start to regress and look for their own opening kills.
There needs to be a response back here from MIBR. It's going to get really awkward if they don't win this force fight. And Deagle's out from the underpass trying to take this mid control. Not too much of a mid stance to come out from FORZE. Oh, XE Power. If he gets swung on from Taco, this could be a big jewel. Oh, the Deagle comes out from Taco to find the 4-on-4.
XE couldn't find the trade as either. And that might open up some presence towards the A side. They've got connector control as well from FORZE, so a split is on the table, and that seems to be the play, especially as he gets that kill. Taco and FORZE do fall, though. Jerry on site. XE gets dealt with to 2-on-2. Jerry still known towards the danger box position. Flashbang in, takes out Fallen, has the Deagle to deal with. Unfortunately, they do recover. Good damage done by MIBR, but for a force buy, as you mentioned, they need to win the round. Damage will only do so much here as they go to eco.
Another big round from Jerry. 3 kills in the pistol, 3 rounds in the anti-eco conversion. For MIBR, you've got to think, just Glock it out, maybe some P250s if you want to upgrade anything. I'm seeing a Deagle and a Scout out. This is actually quite a heavy investment to come out from Fallen. They're trying to see if they can do some more economical damage to their opposition. FaceCrack fast in the underpass. Now, these MP9s will really start to look to do some damage. TRK is already on 1 HP.
Kills coming in for SMGs, nice and simple. 2 frags alongside TRK, as you mentioned, being super, super low. 100 HP for everybody else on the CT camp. Burst through from FaceCrack. They're caught between several different players there on the mid face, and now the FAMAS starts to fall. Okay, rifles drop in. 3-on-3 situation, but no underpass control, no apartments control. Bomb yet to commit towards the site here. It's still going to be slow and steady. So maybe I'll try and push back in, re-aggress from another angle, and try to see if they can win out another fight.
Oh, underpass, KNG, not going to be able to land it with the Deagle. Doesn't get the shot off in time. And just maybe try and waterfall out to A, at least get a bomb plant. They're going to have to deal with 2 defenders. It's going to be very tough for MIBR, especially with how the fact of both of these players are just so incredibly low.
2 on the defense. Connector and sight. Or Scout have fallen, I should say. They're shut down by Jerry as he misses his shot, and now it's all left 2. Lights the TRK, dealt with by the SMG. 3 seem to stay in play as well. The rebuy from FaceCrack and Flit will surely see the rifles come back. AWP forced into for XE, in fact. Dropped there by FaceCrack, I believe. So yes, straight in. SMG may get forced back over towards Flit, and he'll have to take the basic bitch roll for this next round. No, M4 ball for him. Okay, so very heavy investment from FORZE here against the full-blown rifles of MIBR. So this could still be a turnaround, much like how FORZE were able to do damage to the economy on their T side, and were able to get 1 good round victory to reset the economy state of MIBR on CT. The same could also be in reverse here for the second half, but already nades coming in, damage being done, set out towards the apartments here for the T side.
Going for a B-side execution. Almeza can't find anything. Great opening to kill to come out from TRK. And XE Power's alone. He needs more assistance, and it's not going to come through in time. The rotation's slowed down, and now the complete bomb site's been taken. This has to be an instant save from FORZE. There's not really much that they can do now.
Yeah, no, there's no way in. Way too quick for FORZE to be able to deal with, and MIBR will be able to sneak in a confident rifle round here to kick things off on their T side. Face crack looking for exits. Taco gets dinked, but he gets away with the frag. AWP recover for Fur as well, as the main weapon of that CT setup is going to be dropped into the hands of MIBR with a free AWP. And a free 8th as well for them. FORZE may have to concede another good round as well. The buy is not looking great. I mean, this is also a team that, you know, is very close to the word force. And obviously that echoes their playstyle quite significantly. We've seen so many force bites from FORZE. And on CT and Mirage as well, I'm pretty sure I remember like about 6 or 7 rounds in one single map where they forced up the issue and they still were able to win it, you know?
Yeah, look, FORZE are no strangers to the force buys, especially when those deagles come out. They can be pretty scary. But look, they've got a little bit more of an economy basis that they don't have to go for the deagles. They do have a few M4s. Facecrack's going to be on the singular. A scout out for Axie. MIBR, that was a really nice B execution. Deep app smokes to come out for Almazer. Not putting any presence out to this B bomb zone. It's pretty much all out through mid for the CTs.
Scout shots, blind as anything for Exy. Couldn't quite get the frags on the board just yet. Up rounds Taco, flashed in. Lots of blindness coming in for him, the Scout. So close, flick towards short, captures the first man off. Buys some support for his teammates directly on the site, but KNG and Fallen quickly converge, take all the kills. Fur finds Jerry as well, and Almazer is all that remains. 1 on 4, no choice but the save.
And I would say that this round right here, Jay, and the previous is probably the 2 best rounds from MIBR, at least in terms of confidence. Into that B bomb site twice, just opening it up completely. And FORZE hit a little bit of a brick wall, Jay. Not a great amount of money for them to work with in the next, so holding on to this M4 is going to be very vital. In saying that, though, KNG is around the stairs position that may want to try and go hunting. A 9th on the board for MIBR. Starting to close the gap now on this T side.
Almazer burst through. Can't take TRK, can't get the exit frag. And the money is so lopsided for FORZE. I can imagine Exy going halfsies. Maybe Flit as well, but everybody else just got to take it on the nose. MIBR are going to equalize, or get close to equalizing here at least. They can win the following force back, then yeah, absolute equalization, but for now they'll be happy with the 10-11. T-side looks to get spooled up. For now, it is just Utility coming in on the defaults. Pistols set towards the mid and connected positions, but no early aggressive face from MIBR. They get towards underpass on top mid, establish their mid control with a big mid face coming in from FORZE. Actually, this could prove to be a little bit disastrous if they're not careful. P250 sneaking up, sees Fallen, taps his way through, drops that bomb. 2 kills found. KNG trying to respond, but a 4-on-3 game by the CT side.
Oh, this is very awkward. They've picked up that AWP now into Exy. This can be even more of a damage dealer, especially with the fact that they've got the bomb control, and they're even pushing the AK aggressive. Jerry and Exy, it really comes down to these 2 guys to try and defend this top mid position. Bait out with the AWP, but they don't know Jerry's here with the AK.
Another player in Taco also here. Flash in, AWP will continue firing. Jerry's going to get red up on here. Force out the face, does damage to Taco. Exy catches KNG towards bottom and mid and rotates out, knowing exactly where that bomb is. The other AK can get recovered indeed. Flit will pick that up, go back towards the apartments. And now they've got 4 rifles across the entire CT board.
Oh my goodness, if this is the round, if this is the round that MIBR lose, this is just going to break their hearts. FORZE had almost nothing, just some upgraded pistols. Not even a lot of Kevlar, and they've got to regain this bomb. 25 seconds, they need to pick up this bomb pretty damn quickly.
Orb going to apply pressure. Rescoping does not take him down, but they've also got Flit here, and they're going to press up towards mid. They have to run straight in, 15 seconds. Face in, sees the man, takes him down. Taco is also low. They've won it. They've done it right here. Flit's going to get his 2nd kill. Oh, disaster for MIBR. 12 to the FORZE board. That was a full eco for all intents and purposes. That could not have gone worse.
It it really couldn't have. You had, what, that single saved in M4 for Almeza, and then you had, like, P250s, you had 5.7s. That's really awkward. That is certainly not a round that MIBR should be losing to. And it just came off the back of some mid-aggression. They weren't ready for it, got those opening picks, picked up those rifles, and dropping that bomb. That was the biggest element in the round.
Look at how passive MIBR are playing in this one. Up towards top mid, out towards the ramp and palace positions. Realizing if they lose this round, they are up creek. A minute and 15 to try and find their way in. They've worked off of less time before. The lack of the mid control, lack of any map presence at all is what's concerning for me here. They're going to have to take that eventually.
Looking to put some util into a set piece of the A bomb site, but starting to take some mid control. It's a bit of a fake to come out from MIBR to pull some rotations over. Looks like this bomb wants to try and commit in through connector. No one has really got eyes on this outside of Face Crack that's playing towards this jungle position.
Bob of XC. Trying to find a good position here, second guessing his angles. They've walked him into connector, Flick does not land, Fallen gets the bait shot in, Jerry gets one pick from Darkfur, gets the response in. Burst up from Facecrack does find us to a 3-on-3. Nade up towards the back of danger, should do some damage. KNG burst through on the floor, but they could not get the wallbang shot. And all three CTs coming in from this mid position. Nade back to do damage to Fallen, next up, Face through AWP, gets a second kill. And it looks like, I think FORZE, no, actually they are going to go back in and reface. I thought they were trying to save back over at the sniper's nest, but they realize that the disadvantage, they do opt to back off here. Look for exits, can see the 10th back to MIBR. A very good execute coming in from the T side.
FORZE looked a little bit lost on that defensive. They weren't really sure what was coming through because they saw utility come out from ramp, but then no follow-up presence. They bait out the AWP shot, which was fantastic. As soon as that AWP fires from XE and CT, that's when Fallen peaks. And then for MIBR, it all comes down to that connector presence. And we see KNG was so low. If that nade would have finished him off, if they would have even just connected a few more bullets to the spam through triple, then they probably go for that retake. And now they're taking a tactical going, okay, we've got Flit and Jerry that saved in rifles. We don't have a massive amount of money, so we can still buy the issue here, no worries whatsoever. But they need to be thinking about long-term and how they want to be able to stabilize this economy.
The main crucial thing for stabilizing the economy is obviously to win some rounds. Need to think tactics and strategy. How are they going to win said rounds? Obviously, this first round here is going to be the main thing. There's also other factors to consider on the opposite economy state as well. MIBR, despite winning this round, forcing back on a few different players, are going to leave the economy in a bit of a weird state. 4,200 on Taco, the highest player. The next player down from him, 25 on KNG. Not a lot of cash for either team. Certainly worse for FORZE. Both need a must-win round right here. Set piece coming in, flashes over towards the ramp position. Got one out connected, very passive on the A-side defense.
I'll tell you what, if they ran out A, that would have been the perfect timing. It was actually a bit of a fake that they got so close to ramp. They will set themselves up for a set piece, but the A-bomb site's really open, Jay. Facecrack is the only defender. They're finally starting to rotate Almeza in, but it's more off the back that they're going for an aggressive mid stance.
Smoke in to respond back from the CT. He's going to try and stall for time. Almeza back in the opposition that TRK was playing. Good smoke to respond. TRK is going to burn a 42. No damage done to the FORZE side. Flashes in. Molotov's back, going to try and force them away from even further. Facecrack is burning. Going to fall back towards the bench. Smoke sees one. Almeza on site. Takes out TRK. Trade back from Taka. They think there's a player close. XE gets that kill. M4 in his position. Seeing Fur in the open. Drops that bomb. Looks towards Tetris. Does damage to Fallen, but doesn't get the kill. Taco on site. Will trade him now. 55 seconds seeing the AWP at the cross at CT. Peek up from stairs. Jerry gets a kill. Flick comes in from jungle, and that's going to be a 13 secured by FORZE. 3 players alive, so they can't bolster the economy like they wanted to, but they've taken a big round, and MIBR may have to think about half buy or force buy here. A tactical in round 24 to make the decision.
And Jay, I'm sure you know about sort of like the annoying running mice. Like that's exactly what FaceCrack was doing there. He was being such a nuisance. He was literally just peeking back and forward around that smoke. They knew he was there because they would have heard the ticks, but he keeps peeking in. They think, all right, surely if he's burnt this far for the molly, he's got to be backing off. And he keeps looking for more, keeps finding impact. And from there, FORZE have just got complete control on the side. They peaked together. The bombs dropped in the open. And he spoke about the economy sort of not being fantastic for MIBR in that last round. They're going to be forcing into round 24, but it's not the best of buys in the world for the T's.
This could be make or break as well for MIBR. If they don't win this, it will be map point at least for FORZE, possibly even more than that. Orp in for Exi. AKs across two individuals of the CT side, across the two AKs, all they have to work with for MIBR. No Orbs, Tech-9s, and Deagles. Flit doesn't see anything towards mid just yet. He's got a player in connector and FaceCrack. He's going to take face, gap in the smoke, sees KNG, drops the first AK, picked up by TRK. He holds passive, but not quite the same advanced angle here.
Opening up a bit of a one-way through that CT smoke, and there's two players to defend this top gun area. FaceCrack's going to be able to follow up again. Not quite the third kill as the trade comes up, but there is so much information on how much con presence.
No idea. There's a player out there. Ooh, flash in, throws off the spray. AK does not connect the kill for Jerry. 3 on 3 now. M4 back at CT spawn. TRK is going to face. Two players spotted, and the kill comes through. 3 massive frags to try and open up the site for TRK. Exi and Flit. The economy is low. Are they going to commit to this? I think they are. AK looking up towards stairs. AWP covering him from the short position. Fallen is giving up info. But a player at ramp, and Exi makes his way in from jungle here. They're just going to take a moment to set things up. They both got kit. Seeing one man, backline incendiary, comes through towards the danger box area. Nades up, doing no damage. FORZE up, opting to look for exits and save. The time is ticked too far here. And Fallen baits in that shot eventually. Allowed to cross, allowed to save. It's a crucial 11 for MIBR.
And there's nothing you can do against that. TRK just came absolutely massive. The fact that he's able to follow up out through connector, and even just the like little swing that comes out through that CT position, they do make the round a little bit expensive for the T side, especially with that last player going down and Flit holding on to the AK. Bit of money troubles for both sides. And now MIBR is going to take a little bit of a tack to kind of think things over. It's good to see as well that TRK is really stepping up. 22 kills and 16 deaths, leading on the server, or I should say leading for MIBR, second on the server, because he's certainly had some struggles since joining this team, and he's looking really comfortable on the T side, showing up some big impact frags.
Another tactical coming through from the Brazilian squad. Obviously, the rifle save from FORZE that we'll get to. More from Arses out to back them up. And M4 also for Jerry. And both teams are just going to go buy after buy after buy. It comes down to whenever one team just overwhelms the other with a sheer, 5-kill against them scenario. FORZE technically have a slightly better buy. 4 rifles and an AWP, even though some of those rifles are limited. MIBR, though, full AKs and M4s across their boards, so take from that as you will. Personally, I consider the York to be more valuable, but MIBR still with a chance to win this one. It's down towards underpass into the mid control. Passive from FORZE this time. AWP is going to get boosted up. When you see Fallen, you'll see the flashbang. Turn away from it. Rephase. Doesn't quite catch the kill. FaceCrack opens up on Taco instead.
Oh, I thought Exi hit that, but it was actually FaceCrack over towards the A-bomb site that was making work. And Jerry, he's somehow in the back lines, but he misses the spray. And now it all comes down onto Flit and Outmaze are a 2 on 3. They've got to get quickly into A.
Well, Flit did find a trade out of connector, but he's low on health. 48 to his name. Almaza coming in from CT. If TRK deals with Flit and Fallen gets Almaza. And that's the breaking point I was talking about. All 5 down for FORZE. Surely this should not be a forced buy. Surely they should eco, get us to evens, and look for the rifles after that.
That's a big round. That's really big from MIBR, and that changes the complexions of this entire first map. We were potentially having a look at FORZE getting close to map point, maybe even taking Mirage, but now we're in a standpoint where, yeah, they're still in the lead at 13 to 12, but they're on a very harsh eco. MIBR are really starting to come into their own on this T side. An opportunity to tie up the scoreline. FORZE can't bring anything out into this round. They've got a P250 and a Deagle to back up the USPs.
Back toward the mid and short, onto the ladder room. FORZE. Pistols out, and to their credit, they were able to win a round like this before. First contact established, face crack. Could not get the taps in against Fern. No damage done towards him, so he opens things up with careful control, considerated passiveness. In the mid stack, loses 2 players.
Loses a bit, but at the same time, haven't been able to gain all too much. MIBR really starting to slow it down, starting to pincer in this mid control. I should be able to deal with these pistols pretty easily.
PWD taps KNG, deals with Flit, XC and Jerry. 2 players cross-firing here towards the scaffolding here at the main entrance. KNG does get dealt with, and M4 recovered, and a little bit of a relieved investment here from the Seaside camp. Oh, well, I'll say that, and Jerry goes down. And XC Power will fall last. 13 all. The buy coming in from the FORZE side, that's what we're all looking towards. AWP for XE, M4s across the entire board. Very limited utility though, but it's a buy that has to come through.
And you know what? You know when we're seeing these aggressive mid faces from FORZE, I think I'd like to see something in a round like this. It seems like they've been very passive for the most part over the last few rounds. MIBR, what are they bringing to the table? I spoke about aggressive mid control. XE Power is very pushed up with the AWP. Doesn't hit the opener, but does have a teammate in underpass.
Flit does catch that underpass player though. KNG down, still has Fur to deal with. Flashbang in the right down the kill. No, Fur takes him blind. Back to evens we will go. Not a lot of damage done to the man either, but look at Almazar pushing up to the apartments. Here on the couch, ready for contact, but won't overextend too far. Fur is ready for this player. MIBR rotating around, the bomb's going to make its way into app, so actually this could be a key position for the CT defense. As the TRK takes out one more towards the mid position though, if forced off 4-on-3.
Oh, they're going into the apartments. Almazar needs to make sure he's coming up big. He needs a couple of kills, Jay, because the rotators are going to take their time. They're both out from mid. He's got to find a couple of kills here. That is an absolute definite. Do they read the angle? They do. Almazar with one, not quite the second. Fast into B now for MIBR.
Real close against Fur. They go through underpass. Jerry's here towards market. M4 set, sees a player swinging. That is Fur with a low HP. Nades up, face in, drops that bomb crucially. Smoke down to the left-hand side. TRK is going to get aggressive and try force the issue. Taco putting nades up to his position, and the back that is slowly coming through. Jerry playing this one to AT. Back over at the dumpster area. Taco and TRK are both focused on him. No one's watching the back line, and this could be absolutely massive. And face crack sees one, takes him down, swings on Taco as well, and recovers the lead for FORZE, 14-13. And a must-win round came out from the CT camp. MIBR, though, right back in with a bye.
Mate, that's down to Jerry. Yeah, face crack wins those 2 fights, but the fact that he is so comfortable in that position, he finds the kill, brings it back into a 2-on-2, and he's hiding in his own smoke. If he overextends, that's done. If he overextends and loses his life, that round is over. The fact that he's able to pull such a distraction away, both players looking towards that smoke, and allows face crack to get in the back lines. What a massive round from FORZE. And I thought straight away, considering the fact that Almazar wasn't able to find a couple of kills, they had a 3-on-2 advantage. That should have been MIBR's round, but FORZE do so much work to bring it back.
Another back-breaking round to come through, but this time it's against MIBR. Heavy economical state. And a force back from FORZE. Yes, 3 players went down, so it's still a better buy for the T side. But if they can take this, then FORZE will basically win the game here. They will win the opening map against the Brazilians. Through the lack of a buy that will come through, and they set piece their way in towards the A site. 3 players total holding. Mid control established by a smoke. Re-smoke down from ramp as well to ensure they can't push out early, but they're setting themselves up regardless.
Not a lot of counter utility to be worked on this CT side. And KNG just trying to see if he could pull some information around from that mid control. See if he could force the CTs off of this A-bomb site.
XE Power, the crucial scout, needs to get this headshot in first. AK faces, he saw one. Small pixel, but he saw one regardless. Scout facing into a ticket booth, does some damage. Jerry and Exy come up. Jerry doubles through as well. 4-on-2 situation. He's still holding face with a much more passive angle. Gets even more passive against Fallen, who will secure the plant here. 4-on-2. Got a mid lurk in KNG. Going to cut off these short rotations. Face up. Kill goes his way. Now they've got another problem to worry about. Smoke down comes in. Fallen looking for face crack. They've not checked him. They've not checked his position. He turns around. And Fallen goes absolutely massive for MIBR. 4 kills to his name, and we're back at evens again.
Oh, here we go. Fallen comes up absolutely clutch, and for KNG, there's not really a lot that he can do. The bomb's not planted for him. The only thing that he can hope is that Fallen is staying alive, because you've got to think, if Fallen goes down there, they know that KNG is out towards mid through connector, that they can just stick that bomb. Fallen wins that round all by himself and resets the money line for FORZE. You've got to think eco for next, play for OT.
Tactical for MIBR once again. Do FORZE force the buy? If they do, there will be such a massive risk ahead of them. They got so close in that last round as well. But I think you're right. I think they are going to eco this one. Taking the, again, just take it on the chin. And move towards round 30 to come back into overtime here for the FORZE side. MIBR within 2 of winning their map pick. FORZE default set, so very definitively do not want to bother with much of the round here. Taking close range positions and choke point angles, but Apartments control underpass gained. MIBR playing defaults. They're expecting a force buy here.
Almays are trying to see if we can get the knife out for one of the T's to jump out from the apartments. And you're thinking, especially in a buy like this, you're just trying to see if you can do the most damage possible. The economy is not fantastic for MIBR, so if a lot of players do go down, it is going to be slightly awkward into that next round. But for FORZE, they're just hoping to see if they can get one of these rifles, bring it over to the next round, stack into the B bomb site. Only a single defender at A of Jerry.
5-7 set. Smoke down across. Flit. Oh, he's found a silent gap in. Smoke down against him, though. If only he had come in a second sooner, he would have found KNG. Whether he'd get the kill is another question entirely. Now got to get back towards the ladder room because now he's left that position entirely open. Exy finds one frag traded back by KNG. 40 seconds. Flick coming forward as face crack goes down. Mid control established. Almas are next to 4. 5-7 sees KNG in the back. Taps up a bit premature though. Should have been a bit patient about it. Now all 3 T-side players are checking it. And further towards mid will deal with at the last here. Map point for MIBR at last. FORZE fought their way in at close and one final buyback to try and secure OT.
It all comes down to this. FORZE up. Now, we've seen them be able to have big advantages. The fact that they could have gone up to 15 rounds after losing a 4-on-2 is something that's still going to be on the back of their minds. Whereas for MIBR, 1 round is finally going to be able to secure their own map pick. And I tell you what, Jay, for most of this first map, they've always been on the back foot.
Last default set, I thought they were going for a rush, but Exy actually opens things up towards the apartments area. Good AWP kill, backs off passive, no damage done to the CT side. Back through underpass towards top mid. And they've been able to use this mid control pretty effectively so far, MIBR. In the late half, it's been very good control from them. Smokes back from the CETs to try and suppress them from connector, though. They are set for a split in towards A. Boost up from Fur. Did FaceCrack see it? No, he did not. And neither does Fur.
Oh, the boost, just looking for something on the edge of the smoke. And for Fur, he's got his crosshair locked onto FaceCrack's position, but no swing has come out. FORZE haven't given a lot of advantages back to this MIBR side, still holding on to this 5-on-4.
They don't have to aggress, they know this. They're just going to put smokes down, utility into position, boost up towards the sniper's nest. They've got Jerry to try and deal with this here. FaceCrack moving in from connector, and Jerry, I think he's spotted one facing, gets the kill on Fur, backs up towards jungle, turns around towards the side, TRK gets flipped next. He's low and Taco's dead. 4-on-2 situation, but look at KNG coming in the back. They heard the footsteps, Phase 2 comes in against 1, turns around against Exy, but the bomb's been dropped towards mid, and KNG left with an impossible clutch against FORZE. Sees one out around AWP, got the angle, locked the spray, forces him out of position, but Still seeing him, can't take him down. Time is of the essence. And I think even if he gets this kill, he won't be able to win it. 15 all. FORZE will not die yet. MIBR can't take the win in regulation. MR3 16K is your rule set. FORZE still looking to steal one back from the Brazilians.
And I'll tell you what, this has been such an opening series, such an opening map in this best of three. It's had it all. It's been back and forward. We haven't seen a lot of force buy victories coming up. We've seen a lot of presence coming out from the AWPers. And you've got to think in OT that most teams, or at least both of these two teams, are maybe going to run double AWPs. They're actually not. I expected whether Flet or Almeza to pick up that secondary AWP, Jay, but even with 16K, they're just quite satisfied running it on Exi.
Smoke ready. Utility set. AK's in on 4. M4's AUG. AWP for Exi Power goes right down towards the underpass area. Straight in for an opening kill. Will he fight out against Fallen? He will get to position, but Fallen does not take that fight. He looks towards the main apartments area instead of underpass. Nades up, utility down, slow backstab coming in for Jerry. Fallen has absolutely no idea. This is going to be an easy kill, and indeed it is. Meanwhile, the T-side execution comes in towards A as the CT's Fallout passive. Going to have to go for retake here as there's no defense to hold off against them.
MIBR can start to get very aggressive now out towards that CT spawn, and XiPower even has a bit of an idea that there might be someone out through mid. Taco to find the response. That's really what MIBR were looking for.
Still facing in from CT. Players are bunched up. Flashbangs will keep them blind. They'll still move forward. AWP of Exi facing Taco. Edge of the stairs, hearing all these footsteps coming in. Flashbang face away. Second one comes out. He doesn't win his fight. He does get a headshot on Flit, though. Jerry trades 3-on-3. Time is running short. TRK, Palace, KNG over at Firebox. Smoke goes down. Bates going to try and provide support. Takes out a fight against TRK. Wins it.
They're sticking in.
They're sticking in the fuse. The knife's coming through. Jerry! Oh! Jerry took it! Jerry stolen it! And he gets a kill to close it out. How have FORZE gotten away with that?
We were seeing knives through the smokes. They were doing so much damage. He was down to 6 points of health in the end there, Jay. Oh my goodness. How has that happened? There was 3 players alive.
I don't believe this. Look. He was right there.
Wow. That is huge from Jerry. That is absolutely massive. And MIBR, their response is fast out from mid.
Oh, they're pissed. They want to kill. They'll take it down first. Face Crack still lurking in the midst of the smoke, though. Molotov's coming in. Incendiary's back and forth. Sees a player up short. Takes him down. Fallen getting a response back. Jerry caught out aggressive. They try fall back. Still look for a kill blind. And they peek in through mid. Dismantle the entire mid control. And Taco is all that remains for his team. FORZE looking for 17. And what a sequence of rounds it would be for them if they got it.
What was that in mid, Jay? That was just utter chaos. We saw so many gunfights coming out from Connector. There were so many players on both sides that were just incredibly blind, and it was just FORZE kept aggressing. It kept aggressing further fights. And in the end, they win out. And Taco, now, the CTs haven't aggressed that far to spot that bomb, so they won't know where it was. So Taco's been able to pick it up. At 1-on-2, he's just got to hope that he can split the defense.
40 seconds to the clock. Taco looking in towards the B site. Nobody is there. Retake will be on for Jerry and Almeza. They'll realize that no one is here towards the A site play. All comes down to the bomb plant here. All comes up to a plant. Retake up for Taco. What a clutch this would be if he secured it. Footsteps heard. AUG not seeing the man. Plant open or closed behind the boxes. Backstab still coming through. Almeza taking contact passively. And Taco's not looking the right way at the right time. It's 17 for FORZE. Absolute chaos. You can see the bodies laying out towards mid on the minimap. 17 to the board, 2 away from the win.
There was so much death in mid. Like, there were just so many fights. MIBR need to find a response here. They need to at least be able to put 1 round up in this first half. You can't let FORZE go 3-0 and let them get to 18 to 15. even the fact that they've got 2 AKs up on that CT side is going to make a big difference going into the last round of the first half. And maybe something a little bit slower from MIBR rather than continuing to create chaos.
Flashes down towards mid, smokes over and into the set piece for MIBR towards the A side. 3 players to defend it. Jerry in that deadly dark spot, which he was able to use on their CT half pistol to decimate the entire defense. And now with an AK to face, spray through against one. TRK gonna trade, face crack on site, only holds for a moment. And Exy with the AWP calling for backup. They are in jungle, they have to be wary about the murder hole. There could be a backstab coming from KNG if he's not careful. Heard the 2 players rotating back. Bomb plant will be secured. 3 on 3 with his post plant looking real good for MIBR.
And KNG had the opportunity of trying to push through that murder hole to wrap in through CT, ops against it, and now the retake comes out. All the players coming out from CT spawn and dealt with easily. Exy Power, last one left, is going to be able to find the follow-up with the AWP, but he's still got 2 more players to find. There's a kit in front of him, doesn't have a smoke for the bomb, only a flashbang. He needs to get a move on. He needs to be able to tap that bomb, try and force him out to the open. The AWP is now into a one-on-one. Does he check the ramp face? He doesn't. Taco is just playing the time, and the bomb is too far ticked. Exy Power can't get him to swing out to the open. Taco finally with a swing to find that 16th round. Exy Power just could not read the ramp control.
Imagine if he had a smoke, and imagine if he stuck that bomb more specifically.
Yeah.
Could have been a very, very different set of circumstances here for FORZE. But as it stands, 17-16, still favorable to the CT side. As they go to their T side half, this is where FORZE were able to dominate. This is where FORZE took the majority of their rounds, especially the rounds sequenced up in a row. All they need is 2. All they need is 2. Double orb setup for MIBR, Fallen and KNG with the big green guns, the double orb setup set here. And in towards the set piece. I mean, they did this quite a lot here from the T-side camp. There will be smokes out initially to try and cover them off and stop the early hits coming through. A good call there from MIBR.
They're very aggressive out through mid. They're not really going to be faced off against anything by the looks of things. And further utility to try and hold them back. Now, that shot coming out from Fallen gives an indication straight away for the Ts that they've taken top mid control with an AWP.
Re-smoke will come through towards Sniper's Nest, but that's not going to mean much here. It's all down to the A hit. She mentioned they've got mid control, and the Ts know this. It's TRK holding from CT, 2 in connector that are still looking to dominate the mid presence. FORZE, it's down to timing, it's down to the execute, it's all down to the set piece, which is now in position. Smoke coming through from cross end of the map. Down towards stairs, connector, smoke comes through. No CT smoke though. Molotov towards bench, out towards sandwich. No one's going to be seen here. They make their way up, look for a bomb plot now.
Still holding on to so much utility on this T side, Jay. This is really going to help them out in the post plan, especially with the fact that Exy's been lurking out to this B bomb side, but that's still pulling attention here from KNG. And finally, now the players start to fall. This is a 3-man advantage, or now a 3-on-4. The play in towards ramp. Taco needs to be able to find some damage.
Laid up, and it does take flip down in the end. 3-3 on the man advantage. Face crack still had a sandwich. Almas goes. Jerry with a backstab. Comes up with one face crack, looking to double. Can't get the 1v1, but Jerry wins it out. And FORZE are now on map points.
We're here, Jay. We are here. 18-16 up from FORZE. And what really helped them in that post plan was how much utility they still held on to. They had so many flashes. They had further Molotovs. And so many backstab attempts. The backstab from Exy doesn't work out. Jerry then backstabs around from Palace. MIBR running the double orbs once again is the response here. They need 2 rounds in a row just to take it to another OT.
Smokes down, flashes over, another set piece seems to come through towards the A site. They are set towards default, expecting aggression to come through. Nothing will be seen for the moment though. Here come the smokes. TRK at dark is the only central defender, got 2 suppressed out towards connector and jungle. TRK may have been making, or is anyone going to check this flashbang in? Sees 2, gets nothing. Bomb plant can be secured. 5-on-4 for the retake on MIBR.
Oh, Flit tries to get aggressive and gets punished for it. It's now on a 4-on-4. Now there's no lurk. Everyone is in the site themselves for the Ts.
But it's Crack walking out in the open, get dealt with by Fur. Simple kill coming through. And a real big backstab coming from XE Power. They're going to act too quickly for it to get set up to get it effect. And the AWP is watching out for any backstab just in case. One round, one Palace. Essentially have to do all the damage here for the face-up. XE with the orb facing in. They're on the bomb. He gets the kill. Fur gets a kill back. Oh! He gets it last second. Taco, last man standing. Smoke to the bomb. Got to get on it with the kill. XE's done it. XE has done it. FORZE have done it again. 19-16 here on Mirage on MIBR's pick. They've taken the first map of the best of 3.
Oh, what an overtime. What an absolute overtime coming out from FORZE. And that was such a brawler, Mirage. It really came down to the wire. There were some really nail-biting rounds there, Jay. But for FORZE, that last round, man, that was so big from XE. And I was getting a little bit worried because he was so slow to getting out from that mid-control, but he found so much impact.
He did, man. He was just that little bit closer. Just that amount there. If it was mistimed by a moment, it probably could have been a victory there for MIBR. That's how close and down to the wire that round really was. But in the end, the map does go the way of FORZE. There's nothing you can do to deny that for MIBR. They have to look towards the next map, Inferno. The best map in the pool for FORZE, rightfully picked by FORZE. It's time to be scared. Don't go anywhere after this short break. It's map 2 of our best of 3 series after this.
Nice shot. Lock and load. Wow, very good. Let me show you how it is done. Yeah, no. Damn! That was one of the best tickle fights I've been to.
Welcome back to Malta Vibes. Welcome to our second half of Forza versus MIBR in a very surprising turn of events, as well as Forza have managed to take away MIBR's map pick. I mean, you can call it surprising in certain respects, but to be fair, they played a really good game over on that T side, and in the end, it was the T side that won them out overall. Dwayne, I mean, it's such a big win as well because MIBR's map pick and everything, the confident map in the pool, you know, they said the potential of Forza to take a 2-0 if they got a good T side, and it was close to that first map. I think this second map maybe a bit more one-sided, but still down to double digits for them. The question is, can they close it out? Can they secure that 2-0 here?
Yeah, look, the fact of the matter is that first map, it wasn't as if MIBR were disappointing. You know, they played incredibly well too, but it seemed like for Forza, they just had that little bit of an edge, especially going into OT. So look, going into Inferno, it's the best map in the map pool coming out from Forza. MIBR have not been able to put up some decent results on it. We saw them taking on Whistler a couple of days ago, where that was the third map in the pool, or third map in the veto, and they were only able to get 2 rounds on T. So I'm a little bit worried going into that T side for MIBR, but for Forza, they've got all the cards in their hands to get a pretty simple 2-0. I don't think it's going to be easy, but it certainly should be a 2-0 now with the fact that they've been able to win out MIBR's map pick.
Well, look, this is a map that they don't play particularly well when they do play it. Like against the North American and South American teams, they can have a pretty good time. You know, they've got victories against Cloud9 and, you know, draws against Chaos and, you know, even a 16-14 victory against the likes of Furia. So obviously a national sort of situation over on their own right. But the main thing, obviously, is the fact that when they've come to Europe, they've had a bit of a difficult time. They've also lost to Evil Geniuses in the past as well, but during Cologne, they lost to G2 and FaZe. And obviously there was that Vista game that you mentioned earlier, where that was the map that they went out on in the best of 3. So it's not an encouraging sign for MIBR going into this second map. As the Knife Round is ready to go live for this map up, Dwayne, a reminder to you all that Malta Vibes is brought to you by Gaming Malta, a home of gaming. I'm assuming, I mean, I know you don't like to change your predictions, but if you did change your prediction, are you on the 2-0 hype train for Forza now?
I certainly am now, 100%. You know, again, like I don't like changing predictions, but after the fact that you've got Forza winning out Mirage, and with the fact that this is their best map in the map pool going into Inferno, I think it's going to be really tough for MIBR to sort of split maps and take each other's map picks. So at least for the Brazilians, they need to be showing up, but I think they're going to have a really difficult time.
Well, they do get the knife choice to get their choice aside of the CT side start as well, but with Forza being such a proficient T-side team across most maps, you can imagine this to potentially be their side to win. And indeed, our partners at LootBet tend to agree with that synopsis. 2.24 for the main line on MIBR, 1.5 for Forza. If you fancy those odds, get yourselves down to LootBet. You're giving away 10 free CSGO spins and €100 bonus video deposit by clicking the banner underneath the Twitch channel. Get involved in Malta Vibes, the best way for our partners at LootBet. Pistol rounds is utility heavy set from Fur and Fallen. Utility from Exy coming out, the smoke coming out, flashes go over immediately. Now he's up to try to do some early damage. Oh, kills coming straight in. Headshots on Almazer and Flit. And MIBR have already found a 5 versus 3 advantage with damage done to Jerry as well. Backstabs coming in from the rush. The Pistols have bracketed the Forza side, trying to force their way into the site right now. They're taking a face back towards the back lines. 3 players to deal with in the back, 2 in the front. Damage being done consistently coming through from the CT defensive, and there's no way back for Forza.
There really isn't. They need to try and just get some brute force duels out from the Banana players to at least try and get out of this Banana control. Exy is on 100 HP, but this round has just been shut down by MIBR. Surely there's no way they can lose it from here, especially with TRK chiming into the action. And MIBR, it just was a perfect position. We saw Forza trying to go fast into that B bomb site, a quick smoke being lined up from Exy to try and get them into that B bomb site for the CT cutoff. The double nades come out to top Nana, and then Fallen just does so much work. And from there, after getting the couple of kills, the mid players just run down and just sandwich Forza in Banana.
Well, they have gotten pretty decent pistol rounds so far in this series. MIBR with their most confident round yet, I'd say. The force by coming back from Forza as is standard for this team. They've got upgrade pistols, Kevlar helmets, lack of Kevlar for Exy, but that's fine. Utility for the majority of T-side players. The Eagle set looking towards the apartments as Forza change the pace and look towards a completely different area of the map here. In towards the apartments, down towards the boiler room. And KNG ready to face up with the SMG.
Now, 4 players around this A bomb site, so far a strong defensive hold, at least in terms of positionings coming out for the CT side, but how can they deal with the force buy? Well, it starts off with KNG finding their MP9, and from here, you've just got to think, play more passive in the side, don't allow too much map control to come through for the T's.
Library smokes up here to try and siphon off the long control, siphon off the site as well. 4 players total, 2 here held towards short. Taco on the balcony, red here by the Deagle, but spots TRK first, and Taco's allowed a kill for it. 5 on 3, 2 opening frags going the way of the CTs. Jerry does find 1. TRK drops that bomb though, gets an SMG frag in of his own right. P2K have fallen, rounds his corner, ready for contact against Flitz. Tech 9's right there, SMG also there, taps up, sees his man. Flitz does take a trade frag back, burst through for the SMG, just can't seem to find TRK though. Gets a slight tag in, but does not get the frag, and now Flitz left alone, rotating towards the B site, but the bomb's not with him, and there's no CTs to face.
Not a lot that Flick can do here. Maybe try and see if he can backstab the mid player of Fur. And that could certainly be an opportunity, because Fur is not looking in that direction at all. There we are, 1 on 2 now.
Damage being done. Will it continue up that way though? SMG picked up the nade on towards TRK's position. Could do some significant damage, but needs to deal with Taco, and that's not going to happen. 2-0. Eco now coming through from FORZE. MIBR taking quite a bit of damage done. And yeah, basic pistols are upgrades. I mean, FaceWack's going to buy into some Kevlar. It's actually a bit more of a half buy from this T-Tie camp.
A little bit more of a buy to come through. Seeing if they can maybe try and get a bomb plant, see if they can do some more economical damage to this city side. They've fallen. This is now 2 rounds in a row where he's just gone for a pistol. Just this P2K, nothing upgraded. He obviously wants to try and get that AWP into the following round, of course. And banana control being established. FORZE up, letting them have banana for free.
That will cost them. Fur taking armors down. Right, SMG kill as well to get some bonus money. Face crack also going to go full into the hands of Fallen. Still rocking the P2K. I guess he's saving. Oh! Okay. I was going to say, I guess he's saving for the AWP. When he's got P2K kills like that, I don't think he needs a big green gun. 4 frags all in all for Fallen. MIBR with the 3-0 start, and FORZE have themselves a buyback.
It's always nice and easy when they don't have head Kevlar. We see some great pistol shots coming out from Fallen, getting himself the big green, and bring that into the following rounds. Nice and easy for MIBR to start the Inferno map off. And FORZE are trying to see if they can get a response in. I'm not quite sure if they've got enough money for the AWP for XE just yet. We'll have to wait and see when the buy comes out. Someone's left. And it is XE. He's trying to find the AWP. But he needs to come back to the server to get it.
Obviously, whatever this issue is, we can get it solved relatively quickly. Obviously, a number of problems over on the day so far, mostly in relation to the CIS squads. I know that Hellraisers had their issues with authentication problems.
Yeah.
Rebuy should come through regardless. I mean, you can see what the general money line is like here. X is probably going to afford an AWP. Wouldn't be surprised if they gets dropped one, in fact. In most of the money lines do not favor a AWP with Kevlar. So it won't be the best of buys here if he opts to go for it, but maybe he might have some more cash. I'm not really sure.
Yeah, look, certainly none of his teammates are going to drop him one, that's for sure. If he's got just over, what, 4,750, he can go glass cannon. We've certainly seen XE going glass cannon a few times on the T side of Inferno. Oh, there's an AWP dropped. So I'm guessing XE bought it. So I'm guessing he bought it and then disconnected, and then that's when it got dropped.
Makes sense, yeah.
The Asimov, it's there. And for MIBR, it's just about you know, keeping the mental game in. It always sucks to lose your own map pick, especially now going into Inferno, which is the strongest map in the map pool for the FORZE side. So getting off to a good lead, you know, being able to hold on to the advantage, hold on to the lead, because certainly when we looked at Mirage, right, it was always MIBR on the back foot. We never really saw a lot of contention coming out from them. It seemed like it was always FORZE that were sort of getting the leads, putting the rounds up. And wasn't until right at the end in regulation where we saw MIBR starting to come into their own. Because we certainly don't want to see the Brazilians going down 0-2 in this matchup. We want to see a good fight on our hands. We want to see it go to a third map, Jay.
Well, look, at the end of the day, they have been able to get a confident pistol and conversion sets together. I mean, you can just sort of look at the level of play that we saw from those guys in the last few rounds, and it's sort of its case in point with how well they are playing over on CT today. And on this second map especially. So the fact that they've gone so far as to, you know, get this, just get this early control and get a good confident CT start, it does help things out a little bit. And does indicate that maybe the mental game is looking strong here for the Brazilian squad. But as you mentioned, that momentum could get shut down by the state of the tech pause here for FORZE. 2 players did disconnect, 1 has returned. Exy still yet to rejoin us here on the T-side camp. So momentum could get blocked off here by MIBR as we look to try and resolve this tech pause and get back underway with the first rifle of the game.
Now, I remember, I don't know if this is quite fixed, but quite some time ago, you used to get it in like pugs and what have you, that if, for example, if a player disconnected and you'd have a bot and you chuck the bot a weapon and then your teammate comes back, the bot takes the weapon away. I don't actually know if that's like been fixed, but yeah, that was something that I remember years back. But obviously, there's no added bots here in the competitive. In the officials.
Screwed many of my university officials back when I was competing 5 years ago.
Gotta say, you at university, God, that must have been a while ago.
Yeah, it was. God, you really sound so old like that. Don't say it like that. Jesus.
Well, you are older than me. What do you want me to say?
5 years is like you make it sound like it's a bygone era. Just like, mate, 5 years ago is not that far, okay?
5 years. Exy Power wasn't even playing 5 years ago. That's how old.
So there you go. I've got more experience than Exy Power. Yeah, boys. How about it? Of course, not explicitly true because university level is absolutely not tier 2 in any stretch of the imagination.
Tier 5, tier 6.
Last. Oh, tier 12. Easily,
12. Wow, that's going right down there.
Yeah, we were terrible. We came last in the league, so we didn't do that well.
Not even a single round won in 12 games.
Oh no, we had a close 16-14 result, but we did lose that one. So that was the only really good match we actually had. So we were trash. Well, it looks like we've got all 5 players in server, so with any luck, FORZE are ready to roll. I mean, there could be some choke and loss issues in respect to the ping problems and the connection issues. So maybe there could be a way in, but maybe we could also be waiting for a little bit longer. We'll just have to confirm that everything is looking good, and then we can get back into round 4.
Get back to... No, we're not going to get back, Jay.
Okay, that's fine. No worries. All good.
Now, what I'm wondering is when Exy Power joined, he had like 4,300s. I'm not sure what's happening with the AWP in T-Spawn there. I think that might be a little bit of an issue. What's Taco looking at?
He's looking at the floor. So what I think one of the things with Taco, right, is that it's very difficult. Well, sorry, in Counter-Strike, there's like a bit of an off-center placement, so that way it doesn't look too ridiculous. The fact that you've got no legs from the view model, so like it places the crosshair off-center, so you can see that actually as he spins, his crosshair does not remain in the same place. It's sort of like goes in and out between the bricks.
Ah, okay. I've got a fun fact for you. Do you know how they make bricks like that? You know when you like walk on the pavement and it's like a design like that? Do you know how they do that?
It's something I've thought about, but no. I just kind of assume they just laid it down in the pattern, right?
Oh yeah, so what they do, they have like a big stencil basically, and they've got like it's like a cast iron, like massive. It might be like maybe I don't know, like 60 centimeters by 60 centimeters or something, and they'll just put it in the floor and then fill it with concrete and then just pick it up and put it to the next spot.
Ah, okay.
So they don't make the individual bricks for anyone realizing and then put them like that, because that would take quite some time. So yeah, no, they've got like a big cast iron stencil, and then they just pour the concrete in.
I mean, with the infrastructure of where I live, they probably used to do that way back in like in the 1900s. So like, it wouldn't surprise me if that's not the case in some of the older sort of floor work. But
Yeah.
I digress. Seems like we've got big problems across the entire team for Forza, so this apparently looks like it's going to be a bit more of a region-based issue. Obviously, routing into the server can be a bit difficult for CIS sort of teams, and we've had some of those issues in the past previously. Forza just coming in one of the worst moments as well on their own map pick and everything.
A bit of routing problems. You know, I was so proud I got
Routing.
you to say routing once. I can't remember when it was. It was a few months ago, and it was like, wow, that's put a smile on my dull. The fact that Jay has now said like router or something like that.
It's because you keep saying it and throwing me off.
Well, to be fair, like it's only situations like this where we mention it. Because outside of that, I mean, when would you say routing? Like often, or router? I mean, it's a term that maybe you use often. Wow, this is.
Oh, okay. I think we may be having a server change on our hands. Okay. Based on the fact that you know, now the CTs are starting to leave, we've got a bit of a weird situation on that respect. So. Yeah, just to resolve this tech issue and get back into it, obviously. Yeah, you guys have some weird sort of dialect over in the land down under.
It's not
as I
weird. It's just
discovered.
it's what it is.
It's like you don't say adaptation, you say adaption, you know, and
Adaption,
you've started
yeah.
forcing me to say adaption as well, which is really, really annoying. And then
I
was
don't
it
know.
some of your calls in maps are ridiculous?
Oh,
I think
that's
we had a
different, though.
conversation.
That's different.
I think we had a
Yeah.
conversation about that the other day, and it's like, where's Mustang and Sally? Like, that's dumb.
It was funny actually because who was I? It was I believe it was Steel. I was watching the video of Chaos the other day where they were doing some comms, and they were calling it Mustang on Nuke, and I was like, it's called on in the NA region too. Righto.
Okay,
So it does look
we've
as
got,
if, yeah.
We're having a quick server change to hopefully set the routing properly for the likes of Forza and get them back into a decent ping position, obviously. So it seems like a server-side issue just to get that set up, and hopefully that will fix the issues that we've got at the moment in the server results. But, you know, it's very early doors for MIBR. Forza, I think, well, they're set towards the next rifle round. So really this next round is going to be the main meat of the matchup to kick things off. So I'm looking at probably a good offensive here from Forza. I'm looking at hopefully a good T-side for them. If they can get that going, then I think we'll be pretty okay.
Yeah, look, for T-sides, we normally see a pretty slow, methodical kind of style of play from Forza. They normally have, like, Flit sort of lurking around the apartments. They normally try and take a lot of brackets control. Now, every now and then they go for something a little bit quicker, so I think keep an eye out for, like, the quick set piece out from long. They've got this strat that I've seen them run a few times in the past, Jay, where they just put so much heavy utility out towards the, like, short and moto position, then try and wrap in from long. They don't really have too many fast plays over to B. Outside of that pistol round where we saw Exy lining up a smoke to try and get them quick into the B bomb side, especially in gun rounds, we won't see a lot over towards B. A lot of fake outs, which I'm kind of keen to see. But my eyes are obviously going to be on the double AWPs, like Fallen and KNG. Like they brought it out a lot of Mirage, where for the Forza camp, I don't think they ran double AWPs once.
Yeah, I don't remember it coming through at all, actually. Yeah, I think... Yeah, no, am I confusing MIBR on that one, actually? I'm trying to think about it now.
He's trying to remember.
I don't remember it explicitly, so I guess that I can relieve you in that respect. But yeah, no, we'll I don't know if we'll see much of the double up setup here on Inferno, especially because Mirage is a much more sort of you know, 3-lane map. So like you can play the double ops pretty well if you go to like the A site, the B site apartments, on towards short,
Yeah.
down towards mid, and the sniper's nest area. So like you can you can play the double ops pretty proficiently, but obviously here on Inferno, it's not exactly the best of maps for a double up setup, you know.
Yeah, no, certainly like a Dust 2, a Train, a Mirage is probably like your most common ones. And then maybe a Overpass fills in there. I feel like Inferno and maybe Nuke are two of the maps that you see it less prevalent. Vertigo you see it a bit, especially if you're playing like an anchor on B on the city side and then just maybe like a swinging orb out through mid or A. But yeah, no, certainly Inferno and Overpass don't see it a massive amount, or Inferno and Nuke. So yeah, look, kind of keen to see it. I mean, for MIBR, we've seen the AWP being thrown around a fair bit. We saw Taco AWPing on the B side of Train, and then we saw KNG being that secondary AWP on Mirage. So it kind of shows MIBR, you know, they throw around that secondary AWP every now and then over to different players. But yeah, I just want to see from MIBR at least a contention in this second map because, yeah, look, it's been off to a pretty good start, been able to build up their economy, they're 3-0, but as soon as the riflers come in, as soon as the gun rounds start to come out from FORZE, that's really where we should start to see them sort of take some control in this second map of the series.
I think the main concern for MIBR will be that T side because, as you mentioned the other day against Vissla, they got like 2 rounds on the T side. They didn't have a very good T side half at all. So the CT half I'm expecting to go particularly well, but it's when we get to the second half that's where things are going to get concerning. I think for that team. But how concerning it will be, we have to find out over in the second half. For now, though, like it feels like if they can hold like a decent CT side, it would be a possibility. If they can get a good CT side, then yeah, maybe 2 rounds, 3 rounds on T side will win you the matchup over the map up here and force us to a 3rd game in the series. So with that's really what MIBR are going to focus on right here for the CT camp. So we have our new server. We have all players in server. The reload the back of the 3-0 now is going to be quickly into position, and we'll see whether or not we can continue, whether or not the ping issues are still there, or whether we can finally play out our first gun round of the map.
And looking at the money of Exy, he will certainly be able to buy the AWP. And for the rest of them, it would have been very awkward to drop one over, and it would have meant that someone would have been glass cannoning with a rifle, which you never want to see. But Exy Power's got to make a decision. He can go for the AWP, which would make a lot of sense, but at the same time, now that the sort of buy's been reset, the round's been replayed, they can buy a little bit differently, I believe. Is that right? Actually, you can't like buy it differently, or does it have to be the same buyer? I'm not quite sure how that works. I think you're allowed to buy whatever you want.
I have no insight on that respect. I mean, we have seen some different. We have seen some different sort of buy-ups in previous sort of tech pauses, but
yeah, that does make sense actually.
I don't know. I mean, I don't think there's an explicit rule there, so I don't think it makes much of a difference anyway. Right.
I've got the AWP.
Yeah.
Got a quick spawn.
On the big green gun set up towards the banana position, looking for the opening frag here. He will take face against Exy Power, but neither player will land their shots. Molotov's down to ensure no team takes banana control, but the CTs will be the ones to get there first and try set up.
Maze is just trying to work on the edge of this bracket smoke. Face crack in the apartments. 1 kill and a second. And now this is what we're talking about coming out from FORZE. Just a raw aim potential on a couple of these guys. And now Flit just wide swinging. This round is over before it started.
Decimation from FORZE, and that is why the T side is scary. Seen like probably about many A site rushes from this team that have just gone so efficiently, swimmingly well that CT sides have been unable to counter. And that's why MIBR have to be scared here for this map up, because on this T side, if FORZE can get an advantage, you can imagine that they may be able to absolutely decimate MIBR from here on out. And they have gained the 4-on-1. FORZE got no way in. It's got to be a safe call. The rifles should still come out for MIBR in the next round here, assuming he can grab on to the M4. He's going to try hunt for the AWP instead, and there's 2 players set to swing on him. Jerry facing gets the headshot, so there will be no save weapons, and the buy will look a little bit more awkward for it here on the CT side.
I tell you what, that was a really nice round from FORZE, and for MIBR, they've got to be thinking, right, if we want to try and hold a contention out for brackets, we need to be making sure our utility's on point. Now, we saw it in that first map, and especially on Train of the Best of One, how strong some of their utility usage can be on the CT side, but it needs to be strong because you'll just get FORZE swinging you, and that's exactly what happened to Face Crack, swinging out the apartments, getting a couple of kills, and then just Flit just swinging out again, and that's one thing that you can expect from FORZE is a lot of raw aim duels, especially towards the A side of the map.
How passive FORZE we're going to get this time here. I mean, they've established the second mid control, but no mid presence up towards the brackets position. They're going to focus fire on the B site instead. But even then, no one down towards Banana. Very little presence coming in from the T side cam. They do finally push up to take control when Exy does frag on Fur. All before and ready to try. Spawn missing. The Flick third player back here is KNG. In towards Sandbag. Joe's going to check this and gets an easy kill. Entries are clean from FORZE, and this round looks to come clean for the T side.
That was just too easy, wasn't it? They were able to get that opening pick from Exy out through the banana control, and MIBR just kept facing in over and over again and just being absolutely destroyed by FORZE. Not a single point of damage is done. Actually, no, Jay. 1 point of damage has been done. Now a little bit more, but 5 players staying alive. That is an excellent round from FORZE.
Well, I talked about the dominance in the last round, and this is just continues to build upon the point. FORZE know exactly where to pre-aim. where the common headshot positions are. It will work wonders for them as a result. 2 to the board of the T side. No players alive for the last 2 rounds. There'll be a couple of investments from Fur and Taco. What otherwise would have been an eco. I guess a half buy for MIBR in this one. But even then, the money line is very, very low for the CT side.
It's not great at all. Invested quite a fair bit into this round too. And FORZE are just waiting for aggression. And Deagle to come out from KNG, an opportunity to find a trade, but no, it's actually Fallen that is going to open up on the right foot. KNG is just on 1 HP, but this is a great opening advantage to work with.
And Deagle from Fallen trying to face back in. At least they've caught off players into the passive positions, trying to re-extend. The Fallen tagged up by the AWP. The taps from Jerry eventually find the man. Low points of health, but through the smoke, lucking it out. Getting the return frag for FORZE, but still on a 4-on-4 with passive positions held in the CT camp. Fur with the Deagle will start to extend. Might catch one player. Flash in, seen. Jerry takes that headshot, and now it's all KNG. 1 point of health to the B-side defense.
Yeah, he needs help, and he needs assistance, and that's why Taco's starting to rotate over. I'll tell you what, Jay, I've been really impressed by Jerry in this best of 3. For an in-game leader who's not massively known for his fragging abilities, he's been able to put up such a performance so far on both the first and second map of this series. And Taco, he's going to be able to back up his teammate of KNG. But you'd have to think, not really going to expect too much more. 1 kill comes out from the Deagle. The trades are still not there. Taco's thinking, what? Oh, he's got 3 with a pistol. This is all falling apart. And now Exy powers in a 1-on-2.
No one checked it? You knew where he was. That's shameful from FORZE. Exy now held to the back line, post-plant positions. And this half-buy could still win it out. If not, they could well find the damage done to the T side. Exy getting towards Dar. There is no utility for this contact. They might find someone to drop players here on the T side. Face up here, TRK and Taco have AKs now. Good shot from the AWP. Can't land on Taco. And he's got a quadra. A quadra for him. I don't know if the defuse actually can come through for him. No, he's got time. He's got time. AK saved. What's a round from Taco?
That's insane. I'm lost for words. That's not on from FORZE. The fact that no one spams the smoke, no one's swinging out, and it seems like there's no response after they know that Taco's here.
Look at it. Just keep an eye on the T side players and where they face. Checking out the boost spot. No one adjusted for this. Backs were turned. Accuracy was awful. Oh, FORZE. Man, that is just upsetting for the T side.
And it is. It's going to rock them for sure. And MIBR are going to be able to buy back because, of course, that was just an eco round. And you'd have to think for FORZE, it's going to mean so much for these guys to find a response. To the fact that they've lost an eco like that, they don't want to be following up with another loss. And trying to take the banana control on the CT side, Fallen was thinking about overextending, and he does in the end. Takes down Jerry. No trade back from the T's.
It's TRK taking out face crack next. KNG gets flipped to standing, and MIBR respond with their own confidence as the T side get decimated with a lockdown defensive coming through. The Krieg and AWP probably left to save at this stage. FORZE have no chance of breaking in here.
Yeah, probably hold on to the rifles is your best bet, right? Minute on the clock, 2-on-5, not really much you can do. It does look as if they want to carry this bomb over to the banana control, potentially. Doesn't look like they're backing off to T-spawn, Jay. They might actually just continue to try and go for this.
Baron Fallen. AWP known. Back towards Dark, though. Can they get him out? Molotov's in towards the new box and out towards the Dark position. Good shot. Catches Armster for a 2K. Swinging from Fur. Will now isolate Exy. 25 seconds. The bomb's on his back. CT's also making their way in towards the mid position. This will be a 5th for MIBR on the CT start.
Well, good start come out for the Brazilians. And even for the AWP not being saved over, so they can't bring anything into the following round. Now, Jerry and FaceCrack have a hell of a lot of money, but Flit, Exy, and Almeza don't. Are they just going to make this a half buy, investing the AWP, or just a complete force? I think it is going to be a complete force here from the FORZE side.
Might well be. They got money to get some decent rifles in, but a tactical pause to think about it. Obviously, FaceCrack has brought in $6,000, $77,000 of investment. But this is mostly going to be a tactical pause to discuss things with LMBT. Like, I'm pretty sure he's looking at this thinking, guys, like,
Yeah.
what's going on? Like, this was the last couple of rounds have been absolute disaster, and rounds that you absolutely should not have lost, in my opinion.
No, certainly. No, that's got to be sort of not the attitude, but that's sort of got to be what's in the talking phases, right, guys? Like this is a really poor start. We've looked very dominant in at least trying to take brackets control, but the fact that we lost that round against Taco, and now we've lost a round like this, we've given up a secondary AWP over to MIBR. We need to take control. We can't let the Brazilians get on top of us.
Double orbs in for Fallen and KNG. They need to find some sort of response here on the T side, and this is a good round to do it as well. A heavy investment from MIBR, so couldn't reset the economy. And we saw how they swung in on T side of Mirage, you know? There's a couple of good rounds, damage being done to the CT forces, and the Brazilians got reset off the one good rifle execution from FORZE. They've had plenty of good rifles so far here in this half. But already the opening kill going the way of Fallen. He gets the wallbang shot to take Almazer for a second kill. He does end up dropping, and FORZE gets a response frag on Jerry. So again, a 4-on-2 situation favored to MIBR.
Oh, what a job from Fallen. The fact that he's able to find that secondary kill opens up so many advantages now for MIBR. A leg shot coming out to face crack, more damage being found. They're even thinking about rotating a third player from Speedway over to B. MIBR just set up so perfectly to shut this down. FORZE, where do you go from here? I feel like they have to commit to B. There's no way they can fake this.
Smokes go down towards Cross and Coffins. Got second wave of smokes to be utilized here, so they got some for the post plant. AWP at the back line for Faces, gets a frag, Face Crack trades it back, they now know where the last player is, and Smokes are up trying to recover that AK here. Smoke close towards the old grill area. They're swarming all over this site. Face Crack trying to make his way up top of the platform. He's still waiting back here in Old Grill. And there's no time left for him. 15 seconds, got to go for a plant. He's still got players so close. Taco could easily deny this from point blank. If not, KNG with the AWP to swing on. Brayback, Taco drops in, takes the frag. Easy as chips for MIBR. 6-2. And well, it started confident when FORZE got the rifles out, but they have lost all sorts of control here.
And we haven't seen a win on Inferno for MIBR since back to the qualifiers for CS Summit against 2 months ago. So the fact that they're even putting this much of a contention in the early stages is fantastic to see. We're certainly finding that the double AWPs are seeing a lot of impact, and for FORZE, they're getting off to a very slow start indeed. Going to be back to yet another half by Eco. A Tech 9s, P250s, maybe to go for like an apps pop or something. We haven't seen that from FORZE so far on the T side yet. Looks like that's what they're lining up for.
On plant bonus, if not to win the round, that's what FORZE's main idea is. Mac 10 out of Face Crack, finds that first. Almazer drops in, TRK couldn't line up the frag.
What?
And he ends up going down for it. KNG with the AWP responds, but they've gained sight and a bomb plant here, so mission critical already found by FORZE.
Oh, the HE though towards a pit position could do some damage. Oh, it actually doesn't quite connect. And now for MIBR, double AWPs on the retake. Are they even backing off? They are. The resmoke comes in from Monster, and they're out of there. That was an ab spot from FORZE on just a half buy of some Tech 9s, a Mac 10, and a little bit of utility. What a round to come out from FORZE. And you've got to think, pick up these weapons. They've got an M4 that picked up. There's obviously got to be another weapon somewhere on that site. What a round for FORZE. That's the nail biter to get back in.
Such a massive, massive round. And again, they had so little to do it with, and they still made it happen, so credit where it's due, because that was effective and that was good. AWPs in, rebought by Exy. Galil and Mac 10 for Almazer and Face Crack respectively. I'm looking at the AWP of KNG, so I can't take that first opening frag face. We'll still go towards, I believe, the apartments area. Yep. Double AWP still in for MIBR. From Mars for TRK is going to limit the buyback though, so FORZE could be on to reset the CT side.
And FORZE, I think they're starting to realize that they're finding a lot more success around this apartments and brackets control than outside of Banana. But there are 4 players into this A bomb side. Timing's awkward for KNG, but he gets some information. He's looking for more, peeks back in, but only gets 1.
Good flick to Almas there. Now quad is what you got to focus on. Taco, though, also towards brackets, gets 2 frags. And AWP sees 2 XC. Connects the frags to a 2-on-2. Face crack not necessarily needed for the AWP face, but will still hold back passive as the bomb plant comes in. Open for back shutter. And face crack trying to see if he can catch Taco. You've got Fallen also making his way in from the long position with the AWP. Probably going to take that first contact face if possible. Not going to extend out to the open, so Taco's going to force the issue. Fallen maybe given a chance. Oh, the AWP not looking the right way. Sees the man, nades up. And face crack does not fall. The Incendiary might force him forward. He just needs to get that one shot. He burns alive. Xe on site now. Backed up, back turn. Smoke's coming through from Fallen's position. PG50 up. Gets the frag. 1-on-1 against the AWP. Back and the dinks go well for Xe. Massive round for him. Massive one for FORZE.
Oh, that was huge. We saw KNG to start that round off in that 4-on-4, and from there, FaceCrack is able to open up the site with Xe Power, picks up that secondary orb, gets spotted out from Taco in the pit position, and Xe Power comes up absolutely massive. And massive cases too. Fantastic sponsor of Hellcase.com, Malta V and Malta V15, a couple of codes for you guys to use over at home. Put a little bit of money in your account, and a 15% refill bonus. MIBR. They're going to be on a force buy on a response, Jay. FORZE, this is really the opportunity to potentially, tie it up at 6-6 now.
Force back from the CT camp, so long as FORZE don't let this one slip out their grasp, that could well be the likelihood. And again, if they win T-side, what could be the possibilities for the second half? Face crack opens things up. SMG of KNG sees one popping out of brackets. Does not quite get the kill. In the end, gets overwhelmed by Flit. TRK in the apartments finds 1 pick and does damage towards Flit next, but 10 HP stays alive, and the CT's forced away from the A-bomb site. All they got left is the B control. Rotations are coming in from Fawn, but at this stage, it's best to save the Kevlar.
Yeah, you'd have to think that a little bit surprising that they're still trying to go for this. Ooh, does find a nice headshot, so that could be a rifle picked up. This actually works out quite decently. Okay, that rifle's just picked up. So an M4 and an AK is going to get saved over. Not too bad from MIBR. And FORZE take a lot of damage onto both Flit and FaceCrack. Luckily enough, those players don't go down to sort of level out the T-side economy and start to build up on it. But considering that was a force buy from MIBR, you've got to expect with these 2 saved-in rifles, they won't bring a lot in terms of upgrades for the surrounding 3 players.
The apartments out towards the second mid positions here for the T-side FORZE. Keep their weapons in check, and again, the half buy may be best around these 2 rifles saved. I don't suspect there will be a forced investment from the CT. I mean, there could still be, because they've still got a decent amount of money. Tactical ports coming in from the Brazilians to potentially discuss that, or whether make that call. Think about the possibilities for the next few rounds, but the risks are also there to consider as well.
And just taking a bit of a breather. We've seen MIBR putting up a pretty good contention so far. I certainly think Banana has been a fantastic section of weakness for the FORZE camp, where MIBR have been able to exploit pretty often. But at the same time, for these last, 3 or 4 rounds, we've hardly seen FORZE even taking Banana control, because they realize every time we go B or we head towards Banana, we're just losing out. We're not finding advantages. We're finding more success in the apartments. FaceCrack and Flit doing a really great job of finding trades, doing a lot of damage, especially around that area of the map. MIBR, maybe something a little bit more aggressive down mid, and that's exactly what KNG is going to try and go for. But Xe Power finds the first and surely must have spotted the second.
Oh, spray through, catches Jerry in the end, but FaceCrack doubles up. 2 players in towards his mid position. The AK gets a spray back. Taco finds a trade, and towards Mexico, gotta be worried about this. He does get killed off by Xe Power once again. Good frags found by the AWP. Fallen's known. Bomb plant can be secured, and from here it's all about exit frags. Good deagle shot on Xe. So we're going to make it at least expensive for this T-side cap. If you can get Almazar next, that'd be even better. AWP to get saved. No, Almazar takes it out of his hands.
Recovers that AWP too, so Exipal doesn't have to invest into it going forward. You know what? There's going to be an eco again from MIBR. Huh. Okay. So I'm kind of surprised that they even had a bit of an investment in that last round then. No. What is going on here, Jay? They are forcing... This is a bit weird. I'm not quite sure what's going on here with MIBR. You've got a glass cannon AWP on Fur.
This could be... I mean, this could really hurt the economy state of MIBR if they're not careful. Jump face from KNG, already legged down by the AWP contact. Fur will try to take face in. Smokes down, flashes over, Fallen Deagle on site. Now that the backlines, the Zorp shots continue to ring out, but nothing is seen from FORZE. They're just putting utility down to try and get info on the T side, or CD side line. Nades up, go way too far along, does not connect any damage here.
That was a bit of an interesting nade towards the Coffin's position, but doesn't quite do any damage, like you said. A Molotov being lined up for Nubox, I believe, from Jerry. He'll back off into that left, back left corner and then throw it. MIBR did have a bit of a heavy stack over towards that B bomb site, but now starting to rotate that AWP out. That's the big gun that they really need to find impact in a round like this.
40 seconds. Molotov set for Jerry. Going towards Nubox. I think at least. Actually, it must be Nubox, right? I don't know. Smoke down towards Cross. We'll find that in a moment's time. And flashes over as the CTs get driven out of the site by just the smokes, let alone the flashbangs already fallen. Faces forward, gets seen, face crack takes him down. KNG also gave up his position. And the bomb site is secure. Bomb plant 5 on 4. Retake. Well, Fur will catch Flit at least, so that'll be a rifle gained. Let's have an AWP just to get you know, just an AK back in the next round. Bit of a waste if you ask me, especially with the risk of it going down. But at the very least, they will keep those 2 weapons in check for the next buy up. But FORZE will take the lead here going into round 15.
Yeah, it certainly was a little bit questionable. I suppose that they wanted to upgrade at least to a bit to try and hurt this T-side economy. They haven't really been able to do that, unfortunately. And obviously keeping that AWP in play is a big factor. Certainly that something they would have liked to have had. And KNG making it a little bit more expensive for the T's, but still 3 players staying alive. KNG goes down. And you've got to expect Fur will probably drop over that AWP to either Fallen or KNG, buy an M4 for himself, or maybe get one from a teammate. Ah, he gets one from a teammate. A nice little gift.
Well, Fallen could afford it. Fur would have had some money troubles if he opted to buy for the M4. He gets the full set utility out for him, so... Yeah, KNG just set to buy it. We've seen double op setup so far from Fallen and KNG in this map, let alone the last one, so... See whether or not these weapons could potentially find their way onto the common mid and sort of banana positions, and try to see if they can take down T-side contact early. A tech pause coming through. I imagine this to be linked to the earlier tech pause we had from the FORZE side. But hopefully it can get resolved much more quickly this time.
Hopefully so. Yeah, don't like waiting around. Want to get involved, want the action. I'll tell you what, FORZE have really taken action. This is, what, 5 rounds in a row from them? And they did that on Mirage, right? They had that really big streak of rounds in the first half. And it sort of seems like, for MIBR, they've struggled to stop FORZE when they've got momentum. And looking for an opportunity back in, going into round 14. This is probably their best chance to at least put up a decent scoreline on that City side. You've got to think for MIBR, maybe putting up 7, they'll be happy with. Obviously, 8 would be fantastic. But I think if they got 7 rounds, I think they'd be satisfied.
Would still be a T-side victory for FORZE, regardless of how many rounds they get. Just being this close towards MIBR, considering how awkward their T-side has been on this map in the past. Although, to their credit, MIBR's T-side today has actually been pretty good, both in the best of 1 and the last map of this best of 3. Let's see if they can change their fortunes going into that second half. For now, there's the double-up setup AK in for Taco, M4s and Fur and TRK. Of course, full sets coming in for FORZE, so they can afford to buy in the next round. So let's see how this execution goes. Here, the defaults, damage being done in minimal amounts, nothing major early.
Yeah, now, if they positioned it and timed it right here where FaceCrack and Flit are now, that would have done a hell of a lot of damage. A little bit too early to the party, and it looks like Fast Control trying to come out to brackets for the FORZE camp. No one really backing off from MIBR, though.
AK in, FaceCrack, completely blind TRK and KNG mop up the brackets control. And Jerry suddenly alone, 1 on 5. And how quick was that from MIBR? How quick was that from TRK in particular?
I was thinking with the amount of utility that came through that they were just going to back off and give up brackets, but in fact they hold their ground, and yeah, look, that crossfire was insane. And we saw TRK and KNG really establishing a fantastic crossfire between one another. And Jerry has just not got a lot of options here, but just see if he can find some frags. Swinging out from Boiler, does get one, so makes a tiny bit of difference, not a massive amount. And both teams going to be able to afford the gun rounds going for them. In for MIBR, they only need to upgrade a single player. For FORZE, they need to upgrade 5. A 7 on the board for MIBR. A tied up scoreline, Jay.
Yeah, TRK playing anti-flash in that round was really the guy that won the round for the MIBR side for me. Beautiful stuff from him. The AK, of course, rightfully picked up. And now the rebuy coming in from FORZE here. AWP, AK's in, Creek set for Almaza. Nades Incendiary's back up, going to do some damage. Krieg set as Almaza is the first to fall. Again, it's Banana Control coming in from MIBR. Fallen swings and gets Jerry next. So 2 for nothing. Again, the CTs are going to maintain control.
A big advantage, and again, Banana has been a big struggle to come out. What was that from Fallen? Following up with his second kill of the round. And surely FORZE have learnt their lesson going over towards the B side of the map. MIBR have been able to shut that down time and time again. FORZE, I don't think there's a recovery back here.
Well, FaceCrack trying to find one here towards the A site. He's got a kill on KNG. Now to swing in against TRK left in the back line. Over to the pit position. And Taco on the bomb site, backed up to the corner, smoke down, we'll try and block off the pit players. We've got to swing on Taco though, get that kill on the man. He's been pretty confident so far, and he will not miss the headshot this time. Flit, last player left, 1 on 4. Fur in, face up, good kill, but now he's to find Fallen next. The AWP has not missed a single shot here towards Banana in this round. Does finally miss one there. And Flit, at least smoke down their position here. Awkward smoke, actually. Might just find cross forward, but towards the CT cross is going to be the worst thing in the world. Does manage to sneak past as Taco's not watching that angle just yet. Molotov on towards Coffins. He gets a good bomb plant here. Everything else is going to be the difficulty, though.
How does he bait it out? Fake plant coming in, swinging out towards CT. Deals with Taco, but still has to deal with Fallen in the Coffin's position. TRK towards the top of Banana, starting to fall back.
Oh
Flit now turning into a one-on-one. He can try and fake the bomb plant again, or just go for the stick. He fakes it, Jay. Oh, and Fallen doesn't peek. He does not peek. There was a chance of sticking that bomb. Flit thinks, hang on a minute, if I just fake it, I might swing him out into the open.
Nah.
And Fallen repositions. Ah, Flit, man. That's a tough one.
That was a bad call. You're not going to bait someone that's as experienced as Fallen is with a play like that. He knows he can play retake. And he knows that he'll just do just that wait back passive and just, you know, if you do fake that bomb plant, you lose by default. And bad call there for Flit for me. I'm a little bit disappointed at that one, but trying to play the mind games. MIBR 8-7. Do win the CT half. What's funny?
Mate, you're just a rough one there. Like, that was a 1-on-3 from Flit, and the only reason that Fallen didn't peek is because he was already starting to rotate in from CT. So if he wasn't thinking about that, he probably would have swung.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I'm disappointed because it was such a good clutch, and he just sort of fizzled out at the end there. Not even a fight to lose, you know? Like, he's just like, oh, I'm going to try fake out one of the most experienced IGLs in the entire game.
I'd like to see you in that situation, mate.
Oh, yeah, no, I'm saying it as someone who would have absolutely made those mistakes. At least I recognize I'm trash. 8-7 again for MIBR. CT side has been won, but again, as to mention before, the T side of Inferno is where things get real awkward for MIBR. Will they be able to stack up on the offensive and replicate the performance from their first 2 maps today? Well, I think we're about to find out, Dwayne.
Yeah, look, I'll tell you what, it's been a good contention. This is twice now that we've seen an 8-7 half in the first map and the second. First one went 8-7 to FORZE, though. Yeah, no, they found the lead going into the second half. This time around, it's a bit of a reverse. Got MIBR on the 8 rounds. And just look at the kills from Taco and Fallen, and 30 between them, doing a great job being the B anchors. Ooh, those odds! You really can't get closer than that. I mean, you could get it exactly even, but to be, what, 0.01 away from one another? Man, that's how, like, down to the wire this game is.
Rightfully so. But is it going to start going one-sided from here on out? That's the question up on the board for FORZE. Blocks in for the defaults of MIBR. 2 smoke molly setups for Fallen and for TRK. And utility set for Almaza here with the smoke flash and the HE. You've got Kevlar for everybody else. Default pistols in across the entire CT&T boards. USP in from the apartments area. 4-player stacking towards the A side, but the contact established by Almaza will force a rotation from Facecrack.
A bit of a fake coming out from MIBR. They're taking banana control, which they are on a couple of players, but not with the bomb. Oh, are they thinking of rotating a 3rd player out? There's actually some really good rotations that are being baited out. Facecrack's going to get the info, and that might start to force them back into A.
2 players hold on the A-bomb site from short. 1 gets dealt with. Jerry comes up with a frag. Fallen. Fragging away on Facecrack. 3 on 3. Jerry looking for the headshot on Taco, but he rounds that corner. Gets the frag. Exy Power still here, though. KNG. Bomb plant denied. Yes, it comes through. 2 on 2, but he needs backup support. He's got Taco there on towards the balcony. Tap doing damage. Not quite getting the headshot. And now Fallen rotates in to support his support. It's all left to Almaza. 6 points of health as Taco gets the swing in. Smoke on, but no kit for the man. 1 on 2 situation. You've got to get these headshots clean and crisp on the retake. He is very close here early on. Finds Taco, but does not connect the kill shot. And Taco can win the pistol for MIBR.
Almaze is having a bit of a tough one on this second map. Only 3 kills for him so far in this map. And look, for FORZE, it worked out pretty decently. The fact that, well, they rotated off of B, or off of A to B, started to get the information towards the top of Banana to bring the players back. But Taco just does such a great job of finding 3 picks in the round, does so much work to bring that back in the favor of MIBR. And look at the amount of SMGs, Jay. We've got 2 MAC-10s and a UMP up for the Brazilians.
Oh, KNG making noise. Flashbang in. Nade up coming up instead as Almaza just blind faces. Dries up. Sees out of Jerry. Does get the response frag back. So 4-on-4 situation with the resmoke down as the Molotov clears, and will stop TRK, or at least try to stop him from peeking forward. He walks into the crossfire and Exi gets the pick. MIBR lost their force buy on T-side pistol when they take on Vista Krakow. And here they're going to try and avoid the same mistakes. 3-on-3 as Fallen gets us back to evens.
Yeah, that was looking a little bit awkward there for TRK. At least the fact of MIBR. Now, if they continue their B presence, they only have to deal with Exy Power. He is the player on 100 HP. Flit's starting to rotate in. Only 12 points of health. He's got a smoke, so no real way to assist his teammate. Exy Power, though, that's a big shot.
Needs another good head back. Damage being done to Fur. He's so low. And now he's a dead man. Taco, 1-on-3. X is still holding the back line. Here's the footsteps. Comes up, flicks back, does damage. And gets his triple as well. And lo and behold, history repeats itself again. MIBR lost their force to Vista Krakow a couple days ago. And here against FORZE, they'll do the same.
Oh, that's big. That is such a big round. Exy Power, mate, those shots were crispy. They were looking very nice indeed. And he was like the only defender. Flit was coming in with 12 HP. There's no way that he can assist. What a round from Exy. And MIBR crumbling to the force buy of their opposition. Now have to force on their own accounts.
Molotovs in, nades up. AWP round in the corner. Incendiary's out, smokes down, nades in the position, and that's a lot of damage done to MIBR. Galil facing, 1 frag, 2 frags found, the crossfire set. Fur will get 1 frag out of his bracket position with the deagle. Spam from Flit will throw off his aim and throw off the kill. Fur left alone, but the bomb is in, not quite in CT hands, but it's also not in the T-side backs as well. 1:15, a clutch on 14 HP. I imagine his next phase should end up being his last as Almaza swings, takes the spray, and takes the round.
It's a little bit expensive, but at the same time, it's a force buy. So for MIBR, they're going to be disappointed they didn't win it out. Just having a look back at this replay of Power at B. Oh, that second shot. And then the fact that Flit's even pulling a distraction away. You can see that Taco keeps focusing his attention in towards CT and from Exi at the same time. A big turning point for the FORZE camp, because now, Jay, they're going to be looking at trying to take the lead now.
Indeed they are. MIBR down to the basic pistols, a full eco for the rest of this T side. Opening doors, incendiaries back and forth. Taco. And with the first pistol out. Face crack seen, spray through, nice kill. Second two players out. Oh, face crack. Lots of money being gained in that one. 3K on the SMG. And a 5-on-2 situation that TRK and KNG just can't seem to win out. 4 kills on SMG's total means that there's plenty of money for FORZE to bolster. Can treat this next round as a bonus as the rifles come in from MIBR.
There is so much money for FORZE. This is getting out of hand. MIBR need to be able to chip back in and at least just not destroy the economy, because they won't be able to do it after just one round, but they need to be able to chip against it and just stop it from building up. And no money for the T side, so it's just going to be AKs across the board. MIBR yet to really get their T side up and running. An opportunity here. Very aggressive coming out from Jerry into the Mexico position, and Fur reads the option.
He can afford to do that. The SMG so close. They can get close to get the frags back. AWP of Exi maybe a little bit less risque at this stage. Out towards the apartments, facing in, looking for the shot. Can't quite connect it. Can't quite see anybody else. I mean, the second player has gone down in the interim as the Exi Power will look to face forward. Good flash in. He's out in the open, though. When he spoke down at brackets, there was no swing from the T-side player, so they can't get the player down.
At least Facecrack gets out of there, because he was in a really awkward position. He wanted Exi Power to peek to try and get him out of there, and he escapes through Banana. And they're going to gamble stack up A. Now, this is one thing that we've seen time and time again from FORZE in some online camps in the last couple of weeks, Jay, is the fact of when they're in a couple of man disadvantages, rather than just leaving sort of like an even split, they will just decide to gamble stack. And unfortunately for MIBR, it looks like they're trying to take banana control. The only way this round gets awkward is if MIBR start to take brackets and head to A, which they're doing.
Exi Power, look at this face up. Could catch one. Frag! There goes KNG. Mid pick aggressive, gonna reface towards it. No, the AK gonna get exploited by Facecrack instead with the SMG. 3 players left. Taco's caught looking the wrong way. And MIBR really are about to bottle a 5v3, aren't they? Swing in somehow. Jump facing, getting damage. TRK solo, first solo, I should say. TRK is facing up. The AK of Almaza in the backline gets the kills. And even though they lose 3, they were SMGs. And a FAMAS dropping, AK picked up for free. Reinvestment has so much money to go for FORZE. MIBR, what was that?
Well, look, unfortunately, they ran into a stack and they just weren't able to deal with it. They didn't expect the AWP to peek that aggressively. And as soon as Exi Power finds that pick, MIBR just try and get fast into brackets to try and trade out the AWPer. But instead, it just all falls apart. Almeza starts to get aggressive in the backline through pushing in the apartments. Another eco up for MIBR. Now, quick up towards Banana for KNG, but not for the rest of the team. Oh, that's an opening fight with the CZ.
Nade back from Facecrack, though, does catch KNG. Simple kill with Alma to support it. Spray on, doing damage, hearing those footsteps and re-smoking down the cross. So nothing else going to come through here for MIBR. At least they've done a good job to get the opening kill. With it being responded to, they're back on the back foot once again.
Exi Power's looking for something. He's looking to over-aggress. Is anyone watching the angle? No one is. Orb chiming in and backing out for long.
Into a whole angle. Fern knows that he's here and he's a flash supporter. He's the player with utility though, and he just swings. Doesn't get killed off, but also doesn't get the frag back. Fallen does find fit, however. Facecrack in the back though catches him over at the brackets entrance, seeing the man over at default. The AWP just escapes with his life, but they can secure a bomb plant. At least they can if Fur can get to the site, but he's being suppressed. Here there was the call entrance. I don't know if they heard those tags. They do now. 11 points of health. He'll secure a plant. AWP too close to Fallen actually. The Eagle turns it around, but the player is denied, leaving Fur left literally to a corner. 2 kills come for Facecrack, and that will be a 12th for the FORZE side.
Looking very, very comfortable indeed. And look, there was a bit of damage done, certainly. But for Forza, they had pretty much complete control in the end there. We saw they knew exactly where that bomb plant was coming through. They were able to just siphon off the last player. Now for MIBR, that round right there was like, right, let's just see if we can get a bomb plant, see if we can do some damage to the CT economy, and focus on the gun round.
Got to draw most of their focus at this stage here. There's no little choice in the say in the matter. AWP's in for Exy and Fallen. AK's out. M4's back at the 1 AK saved for Almaza here on the CT camp. Into the boiler room. It's going to be Flit. Watching the apartments ready to receive. Nades up, damage done, Incendiaries up and over, and the scope in will look downrange to hopefully catch off a T-side member entering from the stairs, but no one is going to aggress. It's very passive from MIBR here.
Yeah, they're really slowing it down, hardly taking any map control. It's almost like they're waiting for aggression to come out from Forza, where we haven't really seen any, and they've just placed a single player of Exy Power with that AWP towards a broken wall position. 4 players at A. Exy, surely he's going to get flashed off the angle. Smoke instead, flash comes out. Oh, through the smoke to find the first pick.
Unfortunate timing there from TRK. But well timed instead from the AWP. Exy opening up the round for FORZE. Molotovs are coming in to continue to try and clear out this position. They have a smoke down, which I believe Jerry does. And flashes over, Exy forced back, the spray on the M4 will do damage to KNG, the AWP will see one as Jerry and Exy chime in simultaneously. The AWP does get dealt with by Fallen, but he's the last man standing for the T side. AK picked up hard now, swing out, sees 2, takes 1, and Almaza gets the frag back. 13 for Forza, and they are looking confident here on these rifle rounds. It's starting to get real sweaty for MIBR.
Well, you've got to think for the Brazilians, right? They got, what, the 8-7 half, they won pistol, lost the anti-eco, and from there, they've not been able to follow up. It has been all Forza. There's such a strong defensive at that B bomb site, and they're taking a tactical just to kind of go, guys, like, how can we chime back into the action? How can we get more involved? TRK had an absolutely sensational performance over on Mirage, currently 9-16 over on Inferno. And he was the only player for MIBR that ended up with that map being positive, put up 32 kills. It is a big contrast to go from 32 to 9, Jay. I mean, obviously, not the same amount of rounds have been played, but that is a big contrast.
(13-9). Forza looking good here. MIBR. This T-side line of the AK set, and they have been yet to score since I think the pistol and conversion, if memory serves me correctly. AK's up. KNG first of all. Jerry holds face, falling as a trade back with the AK in tow. Galil, instead of the frags back in a 4-on-4 scenario, they opt to back off here on the CT side.
Now, they've gained the banana control, but they've still got 2 lurkers out through brackets. Now, with Forza playing so deep into the side, that allows brackets control to come through. Does Exy Power read the fact that the T's have already crossed out? It really comes down to the long player of Flit, and he's got no idea. He does not inspect it at all.
Orb up, looking in for the players out here. Good flick on the bomb planter, hearing TRK as well. Refaces and gets a nose scope as well. 2 standing, 3rd shot not connecting back here, but he's baited them in towards the boiler position, going to keep his hold on a very tight angle. CT's rotating en masse back to the A site. They've got all the angles covered. 1 player at brackets in particular for face crack. Fur going to be her. We check out Taco in the quad position. No, he will not, but he will get info. Jerry drops Fur on the bomb planter, and Taco left to clutch. 20 seconds. AWP slowly facing in. M4 sitting in the midst of the smoke, getting all the info he requires. Bomb plant tapped once, expecting a peek through. Jerry will swing out, catch an awkward angle. Taco will get the kill, but Exy comes in close and deals the final blow.
Oh, Xy's looked so good. He has looked absolutely sensational in this second half. The AWP, the fact that he realizes, hang on a minute, they're starting to wrap long, but I'm hearing footsteps out from mid.
Oh.
Peeks back in, that second kill onto TRK. He needed to make the play too, because if he would have just played passive in the apartments, it means that 3 players alive are still there for MIBR, and they can still just get that bomb down for ease. At least that way, he's taking the fight. He's putting the pressure back on. A 14th round now up for FORZE.
MIBR struggling as they did. 2 frags already found here in the early phases. Flick gets Fur next, 2 standing. Good kill for TRK, responds to it, but the likelihood of a trade has been so much of a possibility here for the CT camp. But at least they do take Flit out in the backstab, and they can secure a bomb plant here on A. 2v3 retake though, FORZE still at the advantage.
Fallen and TRK really need to come into their own now. They can re-smoke off Moto or potentially the short position. They've got the utility for them to work with. The Fallen with the off-angle. AWP's not going to connect, and face crack punishes TRK now in the 1-on-2 scenario, and he's solo down at 30 points. Oh, what a shot to come through onto Hellmaiser, but can't deal with Jerry. Smoke onto the bomb. He'll be able to get the defuse through. He doesn't have a kit, but he's got time. Oh my goodness. What was that second shot from TRK?
Imagine if he got that, that would have been an ace for him as well. That may be the most upsetting part about it for Jerry. Or for TRK, I should say. For Jerry, obviously, it's fantastic. He denied an ace. The taps from the AK, though. Man, that was good. It's not good enough for MIBR. Map and match point for FORZE, looking to take the top spot here in the group stage. MIBR about to lose once again in a best-of-3 context. AWPs and AKs in, M4's out for the CT board. It's last chance saloon for the Brazilians here.
Yeah, look, it really is. You've got to think a response needs to come in pretty quickly. They need to be able to deal with Xy. MIBR, where do you go from here? 6 more rounds just to take it to OT. FORZE are 1 away from going into the playoffs yet again of Malta vibes. Taking this banana control, look how passive it is from FORZE. They are not looking to give up any kind of advantages.
There's never been a situation in which FORZE have failed in the group stage. They are 1 round away from making it the perfect record continued from this Russian core. Molotov's down. 2 T-side players still sat here, sustaining HP differentials for KNG. TRK held back to the corner. Smokes do come up. Nade to respond. It's going to land perfectly on KNG. Will do some damage. No, lands a bit too deep. Sprays through, tagging him up. 40 seconds remaining. MIBR creeping close. Fur dealt with on the A lurk. Might try to draw some attention away or counter rotate back here. There's 4 CTs over towards the B side and 2 are slowly rotating back here. Short control established. Fallen looking for the wall bang. Flit now knows what's going on here. Smokes up towards the apartments. Flash in. Gonna allow Taka to drop forward. Face back gets the kill. Swing on 2. Spray lines